Let's try that again.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday night segment of The Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live here on the United Public Radio Network, UFO Paranormal Radio Network 105.3 and 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. We're fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey since the very beginning. So thank you, Folgers. We appreciate you so very much. Also, big thank you to Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, aka Justin Snicker, who is the voice and the music that you hear for our intro and our outro. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found anywhere that good music can be found. Also, big thank you to Steve McGinnis, who is the talent behind our logos and our artwork. So big thank you to Steve McGinnis. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. No bubbles. People have been asking. I just did not want to say anything without her permission. And I now have that. So she has given me permission to let you all know what's going on. Her daughter, as you know, because you've heard her talk about it, is due to have her kidney transplant the first week in January. And she's basically taking time off to be with family. She is very, very appreciative of all the prayers and well wishes. They are most welcome. And she thanks you all in advance for that and wishes everyone a really nice Christmas. So please, again, feel free to extend your well wishes. It's all welcome. Now, tonight, of course, the Outer Realm is getting into a little bit of Christmas spirit, but not how you quite think. So our guest host, of course, tonight is Joe Montaldo, our dear friend, our producer, a station owner. And you probably have heard some of this when we did the Gray Zone Uncensored. And it really, went off well. People loved it. So, of course, we can't give you everything because you have to eventually tune into that segment of the Gray Zone. But we will touch on some of it. So we will be discussing ancient traditions, dark folklore that surround Christmas, if time allows. We'll even talk about how people celebrate Christmas from all around the world. Of course, we will be addressing everyone in chat just like now because we have the bubble unit just popped in to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. And thank you, Michelle, for all of your love and support, and Joe too. We love you, and you just worry about you and you worry about your family. There we go. And of course, we've got people chiming in. Janie, hello. Merry Christmas to you, and Joe. Merry Christmas back to you. Zachman, good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas to all. Hello, hello. Spooky greetings. My kind of greeting. Thank you, Michael. Hello, Carol. Hello, April. Bubbles is for you. There we go. Great present. Prayer sent. And also for you, Bubbles. Praise for Sav and her family. Love and prayers coming your way. Hello, Constance. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Wow. Okay. So chiming in, of course, tonight is somewhat of a it is a round table discussion. We'll see Joe's playing around with like really cool folklore stuff. So that's a nice one. We'll keep it. But so please feel free to put your comments and your questions in the chat room. And of course, we will address them as we go along. So, Jojo, how's it going?
Let me unmute myself so I'm actually talking to y'all and not to some air somewhere. It's
Oh,
actually
it
going pretty good. I mean, it's been crazy last couple of weeks. I was coming into the holidays thinking, all right, it's going to be slow. I can remodel the house. I can have the spirit going on. And just, oh hell no, I should have known better. All of a sudden, we just flooded busy. And we got freezes. I spent all day today just prepping properties for the freeze, which was good
Mm,
money. And don't get me wrong, I could tell you about how much I made from one day of floating around in the water, but
that's getting cold down that neck of
it
the woods.
it
That's
it
crazy.
will we'll hit where I live. We'll hit 18 tonight. New Orleans will probably hit around 22, 24. But the problem is, it's going to be sustained. It's going to be several hours. Here we'll only get above freezing for like 2 or 3 hours. New Orleans might get 4 or 5, but that's it. But for here, it's a big deal. For y'all, this weather we're getting is nothing for y'all. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. Wind chills 44 below. I mean, this is nothing. For us, it's a big deal because we don't have things like salt or snow plows or any of that crap. We
Mm,
just don't own any of that. And when the
right.
ice is freeze, it's done. It's over with. For however long the roads are frozen, we're all on vacation. Even the cops. Everybody's on vacation.
Oh, everybody's getting ready here. We're all getting
Yeah.
hit.
So
And of course, I have friends in Texas who are like, oh my God, it's so cold over here. I'm like, what?
I know we had global
Texas?
warming. So that's why they had to call this climate change because you couldn't call it
Yeah,
global. Because like where we live, our winters are actually quite a bit colder than they usually are, and so Texas is seeing snow like 4 or 5 years in a row now. It's just getting, and they're seeing below freezing weather a lot. So it's they're getting more prepped for it, but it's just how it's going. So
right,
maybe climate change is a good word because at least that is more description than what it was before because it's not global warming. People, you come
right,
south, our summers are actually cooler and our winters are actually colder, which we're not complaining about. We actually like Christmas weather for Christmas. 22 degrees outside, 24 degrees outside all day Christmas. You have roaring fires. You can actually enjoy it because most of the time, nobody down here even gets to light up a fireplace. I mean, really, you're
right.
running, you're running for the air conditioner as soon as you light up the fireplace.
I know.
It's sad.
Yeah,
It's sad. But
I know. I
so
know.
I'm a gross and booby, so I can be more like Amelia. Hello out there in the world. Wait, I gotta change my voice though too, so we'll have to get to that.
I think you've got to, yeah, knock up a bit. Knock
Yes,
up
we
a
have to go a
notch or
couple of.
two.
I don't think I go up
Like,
that high.
hello,
I
world.
can't. It's
I know. It's
but
hard
we.
because, got these deep radio voices and stuff.
Yes, how you doing down there? Hi,
Mhm. I
I'm
know.
Amelia. How are you doing tonight, Jess?
No, no, Bubba's
See,
got
if I
this
put a thing on
squeaky
you, I
little
wouldn't even know.
squirrel voice. That's why we
She
nicknamed him
said,
Squirrely.
"Yes, it's we got a Lola voice, is what you're trying to tell me, huh?
Little Lola,
The little
love
Lola's got
Lola.
a
She's so
squeaky high pitch, whatever you want to call it. It's
her little
except for
voice.
her rooster bark. She's got a rooster bark that I don't know what she thinks that is. That's like the alarm system going off, and it goes off a lot. Let me tell you what.
Oh, I
It's
know.
just it
Chihuahua
just
on guard.
I'm gonna make a reel of her doing that just to irritate other poor people who have nice animals and pets that don't do this. Guys, be careful out there. You know, it's gonna be easy for Grumpus to get y'all this year with all this freezing snow.
Grumpus.
I'm
Damn
just
Krampus.
warning you. I'm
I
just saying.
know.
Well, he's kind of grumpy. He's kind of grumpy.
Mm,
Just beware. I'm just saying. It's gonna be
I know.
dark and cold and stormy, and people are gonna be staying inside. And you go disappear in a snowbank, and whoops, Honey Bunch is cashing in on your life insurance policy. I'm just saying, be careful.
That's like real Christmas spirit right there.
Well, it's Christmassy. I mean, somebody
Sure.
just got rich. That's the
Sure.
American
Sure.
dream.
Oh my God.
No,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
actually, to be honest, most of the people we've been around the last couple of days have been in good moods. Even today, I had to go. I was in Lowe's, Target, Walmart, and two grocery stores, and it's just everybody's and they're moving fast. Everything's moving fast, and everybody's happy.
Oh,
Happy
everybody's
holidays, happy
happy.
Merry
I
effing
spoke to two
Christmas.
people, two people working today, and I know they're overworked, so we try to just cheer them up. But it's like this is not fun. I said, "How's your night going?" This is not fun. Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
it's
that's
not fun.
terrible. Hopefully,
Well,
you'll be done
I
soon.
almost got the girl at the grocery store in trouble because I tipped her $20. I said, "When's your last break?" She said, "We didn't have one yet today." I said, "Well, here's 20 at least to make you happy. I mean, to help you out. I mean, whatever your salary is." But they're just nonstop, and I mean, but I got to give them credit. The lines are moving fast. No
Mm-hmm.
one's standing and waiting. Even in a grocery store, the line's just moving fast. It's weird for me because a lot of stuff we cook, you go to these Mississippi grocery stores, they don't have the stuff in stock. You go
Mm,
to Louisiana grocery store, it's all there. So,
right.
bigger demand, bigger stock. But because I
Yeah.
like certain things, I plan on making 4 pounds of fudge this weekend. I'm
Be
going to make,
nice.
well, I'm
Some
making two
fudge.
2 pounds of the vanilla. It's the white fudge. This white fantasy fudge is just, oh my God. And then I'm going to make some peanut butter and make some chocolate. I thought about swirling it up for some of the family, but that way they can all go home with like a quarter pound of fudge. It's a quarter
Well,
pound of fudge and a half pound of mushrooms. Yeah, there we go.
there you go. See, this is sort of like one of those things that we're talking about Christmas traditions. But what I thought we would do first is touch a little bit on, let's get into like ancient origins a little bit. That might be kind of fun.
You
You and I
mean
talked
what?
about some of this stuff
Do you
on.
mean why the aliens made Santa Claus?
Okay, let's listen to your story before we go to my story. You know, so
No,
Santa
I'm just
says
no,
to
I'm
bring
just
some
teasing. I'm
fudge.
just teasing. No,
Yeah,
I'm just teasing.
yeah. Well,
Because
let's just go back a little bit. Why is Christmas called Christmas? Okay.
mm,
Anybody in chat, anybody that knows, just chime in. So the name Christmas comes from the Mass of Christ and was shortened to Christmas. The service was the only one allowed to take place after the sunset and before sunrise the next day. So, many people had it at around midnight. Now, remember, Jesus was a Jew, and it is believed that the church chose December 25th as a date for Christmas due to the Jewish festival of lights, as Hanukkah also began on December 25th. The
and
first,
so did all the pagan holidays. Just such a coincidence. It's just all them poor
well,
pagans'
I
holidays
don't
got wrapped up into Christmas.
I don't believe in coincidences. So, you're being a little bit sort of sarcastic, but it's true, darn it. First recorded date of Christmas being celebrated was just on December 25th, was around 336 AD during the time of the Roman Emperor Constantine, of course, which many people know. However, it was not an official Roman state festival at this point. In fact, Puritan leaders even tried to abolish Christmas at one point because there was no biblical basis for celebrating the day. I can just imagine like people all over the world right now going, "What did you just say?" Just sort of like just a
We're banning
messenger,
what?
people. I know this is just research stuff that Joe and I, did on our other show, and like I said, people really, really liked it. Hey, Doreen, but a lot of people aren't aware of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but a lot of this stuff was all based on, pagan holidays or
Well,
traditions.
I mean, yeah, because what they did was is the so what you were talking about, Christ is right, and then they took advantage of it when as Catholics were spreading across, actually as Christianity was spreading across Europe, it became more of a thing. They started tuning. They said, well, the Yule, the solstice, that's what was being celebrated by the pagans,
Mhm,
or even just the ordinary people. That was their, the burning of the tree, the whole 9 yards, and they just slowly but surely turned it into Christmas.
mhm,
It just slowly it became the bigger, the more popular holiday is what happened. It's not
mhm,
that other people wasn't celebrating. The other ones they were for a long time, and even today there are still some people that celebrate it in that fashion. But
mhm,
Christmas even Hanukkah can't compete with Christmas. Kwanzaa, none of that can. Even it's awful coincidental that all these holidays fall together because it's the way it works. It's the way it was designed. And we have the winter solstice, which the pagans would have like 14 days of whatever you want to call it, holiday party and whatever.
mhm,
And then the Catholics said, well, we have to bring these savages into the fold. No, that's really how the Catholics looked at them, and slowly but
mhm,
surely that's what they did. And it's not just Christmas, people. It's almost every major holiday there is. Easter, the whole 9 yards, are based on either pagan holidays, Jewish holidays that the Christians felt like they needed to take over, and they did very successfully too.
mhm.
But what they didn't count on, what the poor Christians didn't count on, was the monetization of Christmas. That kind of bit them in the butt. They wasn't expecting that.
No,
It's just
no.
something they didn't. They should have been planning for it, but they didn't. But it is. It's easily to watch. If you go all the way back to Saint Nick and you work your way all the way back to Saint Nick's and you work your way all the way back forward. I mean, you can watch the progression slowly but surely. If you had a time machine, you could just like travel along watching it as it happened.
Hmm.
And it's such, and so many people get mad about it when you talk about it. A lot of my Christian friends, I said, well, no, you just circumvented the holiday. I
Mm.
said, you took the pagan holiday, the Jewish holiday, and you turned it into yours. Oh, no, no. I said, oh, yeah, let's go look and see if it wasn't there. Oh, well, guess what? It was there before yours.
Hmm.
People forget Christianity is relatively new in religions. It's only 2,000 years old. Or, yeah, 2000, what is it? What are we in? 2022. So it's 2022 years old, technically. It
Hmm.
started 100 years after the Christ's death. So 2000 was marked as Christ's death, and then, or zero was marked as Christ's death, and then 100 years after that, the Christian church started. Right? Well, actually, about 300 years, but the Bible was actually written about 100 years after.
Hmm.
Yes, people, don't get mad at me. I didn't make any of this.
I know,
Nothing.
just like the messenger. We're not even
Yeah,
getting into
nothing I'm saying
half
is
of what
not true.
the
Every word I'm talking is gospel. You don't have to take me from a word. Even the Catholic Church will tell you when the Bible was actually written and by who it was written by.
right, right.
So don't get mad at me, and don't get me mad at me because in pagans and my friends out there, my witches, don't get mad at me because the Christians circumvented your holidays.
But they amalgamated everything
they did,
in every holiday,
they did,
whenever they would come in and invade a country, for example, or a civilization and a culture, they would at least, I mean, they would incorporate, I won't say at least, I mean, they incorporated it. I think it was a way of making, that culture feel as though, like, yes, it's a transition, but we will incorporate some of your
well,
belief systems
well, look what they
because,
did with Halloween. They took it from a very dark celebration to a very light celebration now. Kids
mhm.
and candy. That's not what Halloween was in the beginning, people. I'm just saying it's
No,
what
it
it is
wasn't.
today,
No, I
but it's
know.
not what it was in the beginning. So,
Yeah, we
um,
spoke about that as well. One of our Halloween episodes. But here's, I mean, things like we don't consider. Like, for example, the link between Christian Christmas and pre-Christian festivals that were honored at the winter solstice. For example, mistletoe, holly berries, wreaths, and Yule logs go back to Odin's eight-legged steed, or Santa's eight reindeers. Odin, for example, now we're getting into a bit, folklore. Odin would leave gifts for children by entering through a fire hole, and Santa left gifts by entering the home down through the fireplace. So that, and that's just more, that's not so much the religious aspect, everything, as so much as it is a little bit of a belief system. But I mean, everything started going back to, the winter solstice and origins of Yule. I think what you were talking about before, Joe, was the 12 holy nights of Yule, which goes back to, the prehistory, the time of the winter solstice, which was seen as a very significant time of year for most cultures.
yes.
We just went through it yesterday, right? So, but the Christians actually disliked the pagan festivities, drinking
Yeah,
and singing, and
that's why they needed to just take him over. That's what they
I
wanted to do.
know.
They just wanted to take him over, and they did eventually.
I mean, this went
Well,
right on into the Middle Ages, and the church had to restore, solemnity and go, nope, that's it. Now you can't do that. But this is one of
well,
the reasons why we go Christmas caroling, for example. That's where it
yes,
came
to
from.
keep the evil away. Um, I'm telling you, people, some of the Christmas carolers are the evil. Oh my God, have you heard some of these people sing? It's like a sin. Last a couple of years ago, we were in Pensacola, Florida, and they do this big. You can go down and they put you on a bus, and they got little places where it's snowing, and they're serving hot chocolate. Because there's no real snow down here, they have to make snow themselves. And they take you around from each group. They got a group of carolers here, and they're dressed period too, which is cool. And there's about 10 different groups of carolers, and you ride around this little bus, and each place you stop, they have something for you, chocolate, candy, whatever. And you listen to them carol. Some of them are quite good, and some of them you're like, give me the gun, just give me the gun. Let me shoot myself now. Let me out of this misery. But it is a lot of fun, and but it's another thing that takes you out of the dark.
No, it's
It
true. That's
brings you
true.
into the light.
Hmm.
Well, it's important for people. The Christians had this thing of you hear it's been say it's been circumvented now, but you hear that out of the darkness into the light. It goes
Hmm.
way, 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 way back, way beyond Christianity. Probably back 4 or 5,000, 6,000, probably back to the Sumerians. It's just the same because We all want to come out of the darkness into the light. We don't want to live in the darkness. We want to live in the light. Even though I hate to say this, I prefer when it's dark. I'm just going to be honest with you. I like to
Uh-oh.
sleep in the daytime. Oh, when I was young, I really thought I was a freaking vampire because I didn't get up until, I'd go to bed at sunrise and get up at sunset. I had I didn't need to see the daytime world. I had no need to see the daytime world. There was nothing in it I was interested in. I liked the nightlife, and
Oh, did I? But I still enjoy the sunlight.
sunlight's
I'm one of those
overrated.
vampires that do really well in the sunlight.
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. Sunlight
I'd
is
call you old
overrated.
Grampus instead of Krampus.
Sunlight is
Krampus.
overrated. And the bad part is I say that and I live in a house that has 5 billion windows in it. My bedroom window is actually bigger than my bed. So, yes. And so is my living room. Well, we all see it when I put pictures up of the new dining room table and all, but it's
Right,
it's bigger than my dining room table, which actually is full size, sits 10 people.
right.
Um, well, I could squeeze 12 in if I wanted to, but still, it's out of the darkness into the light, and that's what the Christians have been doing. The problem with Christians is again, like Easter. Easter was a major holiday, and guess what it is today? It's a big bunny with ears and some chocolate candies for your
It's
kids,
true. It gets
just like
commercialized.
Halloween, just like
Everything
Christmas.
does. Everything
Um,
does.
they just didn't anticipate that.
Mm-mm.
The Christians, and it cost the Christians because it cost them followers. Before they had a big, huge following, 80, 70, 80% of the planet. And now they're 50, 52% in our country. And I mean, there's still almost 2.5 billion Christians, but still,
Mm,
that's not Catholics. Catholics, I think, are 1.5 billion, but Christians are a little over 2.5 billion. There's a lot of them out
mm.
there.
Right.
And they're trying to drag yellow skinny butts out of the darkness into the light. And if that's true, oh, that's great. That's all great. But see, for some reason, I don't imagine Satan living in darkness. I mean, first off, it's hell and it's flaming, roaring crap all the time. It can't be dark. It's got to be some mysteriously glowing orange place. Um, and do you want to live in a place that's just nothing but bright white light? Come take a ride on interstate late at night with somebody with LED lights behind you and see. That's a couple of
Yeah,
see
good,
how you
good.
like that.
Um, okay, let's touch now on. I'm going to bounce around a little bit because, like I said, there's just so much. I want to
You're
get
gonna
into
like
some of the
bounce
fun
around.
stuff. Yeah, start bouncing. Just give me a little bouncing. There we go. I give you some bouncing. Let's talk a little bit about how some of the folklore goes. Let's talk about Krampus, which is celebrated in Austria, Central Europe, and it's
Mm.
really, I mean, taken off everywhere. For those who aren't familiar with him, he's this big spooky guy and resembles a goat or demon, punishes misbehaving children who initially had nothing to do with Christmas at all. And he was said to like work with Saint Nicholas, so like
Yeah,
they
he
actually
was like
totally did.
the
Yeah,
alter ego, like
I know.
Jekyll and Hyde.
In the 12th century, the Catholic Church attempted to banish him altogether, banish, Krampus celebrations because of his resemblance to the devil. Historically, however, Krampus himself comes around on the night of December 5th until January 6th, tagging along with St. Nick as he visits houses all night. So, modern day people and cultures from all over the world still celebrate Krampus by dressing up as this mythical creature, parading around the streets, poking people with or children with sticks. I thought, oh my gosh, But Nick, St. Nicholas only concerned himself with the good children, while Krampus was responsible for the bad children. Now, getting into more Scandinavian folklore, let's talk about the winter solstice with this dark history that sort of comes into Christmas. And that, of course, is Odin and is a folklore called the Wild Hunt, which was said to, be Odin would ride through the skies of the Wild Hunt, collecting the souls of the dead. Everyone stayed inside feasting, afraid to go outside, just in case they were caught and abducted by the Wild Hunt. One did
Mm-hmm.
not need to be caught out alone on the road on this night as the ghostly
They were
hunting
being
party
abducted by something, all right.
tore through the night, sky, carrying off souls of the dead to the underworld. The children were said to leave hay. See this resemblance again with leaving stuff for Santa. The children were said to leave hay in their boots during Yuletide for Odin's eight-legged steed to feed from while Odin stopped in to bring treats to the children by entering through the fire hole. The people did not call the holiday Christmas, although the word itself seems to go back around 300 AD with, Emperor Constantine. It was a pagan festival that followed midwinter solstice, usually around December 21st, and celebrated the return of the sun the next day, and then slowly started the days getting longer. Lasted for 12 days, hence the 12 days of Christmas. So to this day, the people of Scandinavia still burn a Yule log, and the ashen remains were used to ward off evil spirits and other misfortunes before being ignited again the following year to start the subsequent Yule fire. So it's like, I think that is actually a really cool tradition.
It
I like
is.
it. That's pagan. I love it.
Maybe take some of the little bad kids off with his ass. I got a
What?
couple I'd send them. Hey, look, there's evil in the world. What can I say? I didn't put it here.
Well, so
That's right. Whoever said that, whoever texted that, that's right. Evil. Sometimes things are just born evil. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to be born evil. They're going to die evil. They're just
well,
evil.
that's just not nice.
And by the way, I was talking about Santa Claus last night and time displacement. I mean, how do you get around a planet in 24? I mean, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Okay, now only 6 billion are probably going to get presents, but still 6 billion. He must work with Doctor Who. I mean, that's the only way it can work. He
Right.
must work with the doctor, and they do time displacement, and they just. And next thing you know, he's done. He can take his day off before the next year starts.
There we go. So,
And I want to see these little elves. I think some of these elves might be on crack or cocaine or something. I mean, how many toys
it's
are
a
they made?
family show right now.
Is that a family show? It says clearly on the network PG-17 or older. Yeah, what the heck? Can you imagine seeing some elves? You fly up to the North Pole, you land at Santa's place, and you go in there, and elves are like warp speed around the place. I mean, something's got to be. Maybe it's elf dust. That's what it is.
Elf dust. Oh my god.
Fairy
Or,
dust.
or gnomes. Maybe they're gnomes.
Fairy dust. That's what
Maybe
it
like
is.
Santa's a big gnome. I don't know.
What was that, Zach? He disappeared before I could see
Oh,
it.
they was the back. Okay, read them off there. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
know.
bad kids, lots of bad kids. Send them, take them,
Yes.
take them.
Let me read it for those who are listening and not watching. Zachman says, I don't know many bad kids, but I know a lot of bad people. Is it too late for Krampus to take them? I was just kidding.
No, you put one of them stickers on their back. You get like one of them self sticky things, and you pat them. Hey, and they got a tag on them. It's like laser tagging them. So when Krampus comes over, he can
just like that. I like the sound effects.
yeah,
And
that's
just like being stuck to a portal.
that's the
Just
way
like
it has
that.
to be.
Right.
Personally, I wish he'd come around and thin out the religions on the planet, but I guess I'm not going to get to see that.
Oh boy.
I see more and more religions instead of less and less religions. A good
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine the other day said, "Let's start a church." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "No, really, we could start our own church." I'm like, "Why?" And what are we going to say? What kind of church are we going to do? The church of insane people? No, it's not going to work for me.
Oh boy. Be a big
It's
one.
just crazy. I mean, out of the blue, I mean, we're pretty good friends. So he's just like, "No, man, you'd make a great pastor." I'm like, "No, no."
I like that.
I said, "I'm
No
evil."
speaking.
I said, "No, I don't think so."
No speaking.
I don't want to. I don't want to be a role model for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just being honest about it.
Me
No.
too.
It's there's lots of better role models in the world than me. Trust me. That's lots of good people out there. I personally, people tell me all the time there's no good people. And that's not true. There's lots of good people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots and lots of
There
good.
are.
I've
There
boodles
are
and boodles of good people.
good people and some just in really bad situations. We are a product of how we live or what's going on in our
Well,
lives. And,
so on a kind of sour note for the holidays. So I
because
live.
that's what we're trying to talk about,
No,
Joe.
I live in Bay St.
Send
Louis,
him the hate mail,
Mississippi.
people. I'm trying to stay on
No,
track.
listen. I live in Bay right now. I'm actually past Christian, Mississippi. I live in a really Christian town, and unless I'm in New Orleans when I'm at home in New Orleans. But either way, so a couple of nights ago, a lady was at a Motel 6 with her children, just doing her things, and I don't know what happened, but for some reason they called the police, and the police came out. Okay, so she's in there with her children, and they're talking to her, and it's having a little conversation. And then they decided, this is a 26-year-old cop and a 35-year-old sergeant, decided they were going to take their kids. And actually, what they should have done is they should have called, whatever, and had them come out, whatever enforcement agent they have. Cops should never get involved in this. So the lady, that just a 49-year-old lady, she's a veterinarian that works in Mobile, lives in Ocean Springs. Small little girl comes out and kills both the cops. Shoots one of them in the face and kills him dead as a doornail, and shoots the other one 3 times.
And we're talking about this. Why?
Because
This is a
I want
spirit sort of getting in the spirit kind of show. Dang it!
because it's one of these lessons people need to learn. Even during the holidays, people should keep their space, their distance. You shouldn't crowd people in like that. You should give people room to breathe. You should give them choices. And in today's world, it seems like there's less and less choices, and more, I demand you to do this. So I'm just telling everybody, the reason I brought this up and I said all this is because I will so Krampus to your damn house if you become one of these people like this.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Okay.
Just see
I've
the
got a
banner.
big,
The Outer
big
Realm is
naughty
feeling
list.
festive.
Big naughty list. Big naughty list. I'm just telling y'all.
Okay. And on that note, Tamara says they
on
used to dance. They used to have a dance with swords to represent the sun, ended the dance by crossing the swords to represent the 6-sided star, the earthly representation of the symbol of the longed for sun.
This so when I was younger, not now, but when I was younger, there's a lot of these Yule festivals I used to attend. A lot of them were great. There was a lot of dancing, a lot of drinking,
Mhm.
and since it's PG-17, we can't go any further than that. But there was lots of good stuff that went on, and people were happy and had a good time, and it was a festive thing. Christmas is fun, but Christmas is fun in a different way. It's fun because you're giving to someone, or people know you shouldn't be drinking during Christmas. I'm just being honest about it. Now if you're practicing Yule, yeah, you should drink a lot, but Christmas not so much. Christmas is a fun holiday because you're just giving to your loved ones and your friends, and you're helping out people. This is the time of year that my average tip to someone's going to be between $20 and $50, regardless who they are, including the pizza driver, because I want people to be happy. I go out of my way a lot this time of year to make sure even people around me, even people I work with, companies I work with, employees of those companies I work with, I try to keep them happy and make them happy in any way I can. And it's just a good thing. It'll be good karma, but that's not really what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it because they need it. You can see it in their face. It's just like the little girl at the grocery store today when I asked her, "Have you had a break today?" And she's like exhausted. You can see it in her face. And I handed that $20 bill over the counter, and it brought a smile to her face. It's a shame that you have to do
feel
it.
free to send me a dang Christmas bonus for all my hard ass work.
I'm going to send you a Christmas bonus. I'm going to send you this new show I'm getting ready to put on the network.
All right.
That's going to be your
You
Christmas
think?
bonus.
Oh, sure. We'll see what show that's going to be.
We're gonna that's going to be our Christmas bonus. You got to keep her
Sure.
busy. If you don't keep her busy, she gets in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
she gets in trouble, man. You got to keep her busy. She will tear your ass up in a heartbeat.
That only happens when somebody does something that they'll talk to me about first.
That's true,
They
too.
run
It's
their business like a well-oiled machine. And
well,
right
yeah.
now, dang it, I'm feeling festive and I want to talk about Victorians and ghost stories at Christmas.
You know what? Now that's fun. Now, I would really, one of the things I think we're going to do soon is there's a couple places in the United States you can go experience a Victorian Christmas. I'd really rather go to Europe and do it, but going to Europe, especially right now, it costs me a small fortune. To do what I want to do, it would cost me 20 to 50. No, 20 to 50 grand. And I just don't want to spend that on that because I'll have a heart attack.
To go to Europe. I've been to Europe many times.
No, that's not to go to Europe. So one of the places we looked at in Europe, they set up the castle, they set up all the clothes. Everything's Victorian. You're Victorian, the castle's Victorian, all the clothes, everything is period. No cell phones allowed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Just yes, no cell
That's
phones
okay.
allowed.
I've been to parts of Europe where you can't get reception.
Yeah,
I learned really quick.
Well, no, they want you to experience. There's no television or anything like that. Yes. They want you to really experience it. There's lots of books to read and things like that, and big roaring fireplaces and big dancing. And that's great. And in the United States, you can go to a place for the week for like Christmas if you want to go like the day before Christmas Eve, the day at Christmas and day after. You're looking at about $5,000 to $7,000, depending on where you're flying from. For me, I can actually drive there, so it would probably only cost me $4,000 or $5,000. But it's something everyone should experience. I've done a couple of things like that and other things, and it's watching and really experiencing how our ancestors lived. One is absolutely a ball and a lot of fun, especially the way they do the Christmas holiday. They do it in a much bigger fashion. It's more like a village thing than it is a family thing.
Mm,
It's the whole village. All the families get involved. It's a great thing to be a part of, and you're a part of it.
mhm.
It's a lot of fun. You can enjoy it. Well, we did a Bavarian Christmas in the it's in Georgia. It's up in the real tall mountains in Georgia, and it's a whole town. It's a whole Christmas town. The whole town is Christmas. Oh yeah, the whole thing is. And these are things you can go enjoy. It's a lot of fun, and it really makes you think because watching some of the things some of the way they cook, way they clean, you're thinking, wow, I'm glad I live now. I'm just saying, it's a lot of fun. Don't take it the wrong way. It's a lot of fun. It's just because after about a day or two, you find yourself immersed in it. You just become part of it, and you're out there helping, doing things, churning butter, doing all kind of wonderful stuff. But still, it makes me really happy that I was born in the year I was born in. I'm just gonna be honest
Yes.
about it.
And speaking of born back in the day, I'm going to get us on track for a few minutes. Then
That
I'll let
was
you go
on
again.
track. What are you talking about?
Then I'll let you go again for a little bit. So, okay, we're going to talk about the dark tradition of ghostly storytelling
Who?
at Christmas. So, our fascination with ghostly tales around Christmas goes back thousands of years, apparently, just so y'all know. It is rooted in the ancient celebration of the winter solstice. Now, in the depths of winter, pagan traditions included a belief of a ghostly procession across the sky, as we also mentioned, called the Wild Hunt. Yuletide was considered to be a very haunted time of the year. In fact, it's believed that this time of the year is more haunted and the veil is thinnest, even more so than at Halloween. The pagans believed that the veil between the realms of the living and the dead was at the thinnest point this time of the year. So telling ghost stories, there we go. Telling ghost stories during the winter was definitely a hollow tradition that went back centuries, with families would spend long winter nights in tales of spooks and monsters. And ghosts have been associated with winter and the cold since ancient times, and dark tales were meant to entertain on dark nights. Many cultures believe that their dead ancestors would stop by for a visit during the Yuletide season, showing that they were never really that far away. So now we enter the Victorian era, because this still takes place in different parts of the world, but on this side of the world, it wasn't something that really took hold until the Victorians, and they were widely known for having huge interest in the macabre. They were known for holding and attending seances, picnicking in cemeteries, forming spiritualist and occult societies. They believe that the Christmas day, December 25th, was linked to pre-Christian solstice festival. They really got into that. And they viewed this as a time also when the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. So the resurrection of the dead tradition of telling ghost stories was a way of celebrating Christmas in the Victorian era, and many families would exchange ghost stories as opposed to gifts. I love that. This was a popular into the 1800s, all the way into, well, the late 1800s to the early 1900s. Victorians would even send out bizarre Christmas cards with morbidly humorous designs, such as murdered frogs or insects. They wanted their cards to serve as something very shocking. So it would be like a shocking conversation starter. That would probably do it. But many of the outlandish designs were influenced by folklore. So, example, English myth. Well, we had robins and wrens. They were considered sacred species. Therefore, images of dead birds might have been a way to elicit Victorian sympathy and reference, that sort of thing. But again, as late as 1915, Christmas annuals of magazines was still in demand for ghost stories. But today, the ghost story tradition has been preserved in places such as lyrics to Christmas classics, like It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, which talks about scary ghost stories. Let's talk about The Christmas Story, even the movie. I think that there's a lot of different things that I'd love to see that sort of thing resurrected. So, do you want to comment on that before I talk about tulpas?
I was thinking I got something for Grumpus right here. I got something for him right. Oh, by the way, people, we're going to give away 2 lightsabers tonight on Michelle's show.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, but not right
So he's
now.
waving it around. He doesn't really want to give it up, though. I can tell.
This one, no, this one I've gotten used to. I was going to give it away last night, but I kind of got to liking it. See, I like the hilt
Uh-oh.
on it. It's got a nice hilt on it. Anyway, we're not talking about that right now.
Bzz,
It's
bzz, bzz, bzz,
it's
bzz,
just so
bzz.
I torture my dogs with it. Um, and actually, Lola ain't scared of it. Lola's like, whatever. I will bite that thing and drag it down the
She will.
hallway.
Lola's like, what, 4 pounds of sheer
Yeah, I
terror?
know.
I know.
She's a
It's
horror.
like, I know. I
And,
know.
but I tell you what, she's the first dog of any kind I've ever had that likes to sleep late in the morning and won't eat her food until she's ready. She gets
That's
up in the
fine.
morning. She's like, I don't want that food. I'm going back to bed. Y'all go and do whatever you
My
do. And she
kind of
does.
dog.
She goes in between, gets in between the pillows and goes back to bed. She's like, screw y'all. Go do whatever y'all want. Now Fiona, on the other hand, is up and ready. She eats. She's walking around, daddy, mom, what y'all doing? What's going on in the house? Doing her business. Not Lola. Lola's like a noon dog. She's like one of them, she's like a Hollywood star. I guess too many times on TikTok now, she thinks she's Hollywood. And she likes to sleep to noon, stay up till 1, 2 in the morning. She's an
She's a
insane dog.
diva.
She is a diva.
She's a
A dog's
diva.
a diva. What can I say, people? It's
Okay.
but she likes the holidays too. She likes her little holidays. She barks the hell out of Santa Claus, but. Oh,
Well,
speaking of that, somewhere in the house, I've got a mini statue of Grumpus. And the other day, I had it sitting in the hallway, just sitting in the middle of the hallway. She comes flying through the hallway, and there it is. She's like, She went ape on this poor thing. She got it, drug it down the hallway, and threw it
you
out the door.
videotape that stuff and put it on
Poor Grumpus. I
social
feel
media
sorry
for
for
us
him.
all to get a kick out of it. Just saying. So, okay, we're going to talk about tulpas and Santa, and then I want your opinion on what you think.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay.
Happy
So,
holidays, Lisa. Hey,
hello,
Sam. I didn't see you up
Lisa.
there.
Okay. So, a here's a theory, okay? Santa ghostly sightings. So there have been ghost stories of Santa himself going back as early as the 1950s. Could he be a tulpa? As billions,
Wait. What the
billions
hell is a
with a
topa?
B, a tulpa. Well, let's look at a tulpa. Slender Man is a tulpa. Slender Man was created basically on a website, and people started giving input as to what this character Slender Man should be. In fact, it was almost like an experiment, and it went crazy because he was almost brought to life. Well, some people believe he was brought to life by the characteristics that were given to him. I guess it's like the mindset and the power put into something. Over time, there were Slender Man sightings all over the world. Yet this was a being that was created literally on a website, like a gaming site. It was created. So now people are thinking maybe Santa's a tulpa because billions of people around the world believe that he is indeed real. So could these people have created him as a thought form, given him a personality, traits, that sort of thing? Could people actually be seeing the ghost of Saint Nicholas, or perhaps witnessing a mimic of some sort? One story was told by a young boy who saw Santa carrying a big brown bag while he was walking down the street and then disappeared into thin air. There's been many tales of Santa being seen in people's homes on Christmas Eve, and when he's noticed them, he simply disappears. One woman said that as a child, she did not have a very pleasant experience with Santa. She saw him on Christmas Eve and said she felt a sense of creeping dread, that he was not at all jovial or jolly. She said that she felt as though he must have known she was there and turned around and looked at her without smiling, and she felt as though he was eerily looking right into her soul. I've seen a lot of other reports about this sort of thing, and Santa apparently does not like children being up when he visits, but the tales continue to the point that paranormal researchers have now started to document the stories and accounts of Santa. So what the heck do you make out of that?
That's weird. I mean, but I've heard weird stuff about different things about Santa over the years. Hey, and people, at least y'all got off of sticking hay in the boots and giving Santa some chocolate cookies. I'll tell you what I leave for Santa. I'll show you right here.
Uh-oh. Oh, don't be showing that.
I
Honestly.
leave that for Santa. That's what I leave. No, I'm serious. I leave 2 shots for him on the side of the thing,
Well,
and
can tell us
and
the
a
story.
cigar.
The Santa, as people know and love today with the red suit and everything else, you had actually said a story on the Gray Zone that he was developed by, was it Coca-Cola?
Yeah, well, Coca Cola took him a long way. Let's put it like that. I mean, look, Coke is used even today. Coke uses Santa to make millions and millions and millions of
Mhm.
dollars. They have, like if you go to the Beau Rivage Casino and you walk in, there's a beautiful scenery of the white bears and the white wolves and the
Right,
forest, and this is actually a Coca Cola commercial brought to life. It's all animatronic and everything. It's really nice. It's really cool, actually. But it's
right.
supposed to be Santa's forest.
Mm,
But really and truly, it looks more like the Coca Cola commercial. If you go in and see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But and I've put it. It's on my Facebook page. They do it every year, and
right.
a couple of casinos have now started doing. They really didn't get into it before, but now they're starting to do like Winter Wonderlands, and they're really buffing it up because, you know, it's hard to make people understand. But coming out of COVID, people want to be happy, whatever it takes. They just want to be happy. I mean, that's why this year is going to be the third largest fly-in year of any time. I mean, people want it. They want to feel, you know what it is? They want to feel alive. They've been cooped up for 2 years and they just want to feel again. You become numb after a while when you're just sitting around and stuff. And even Christmas is not the same, but now people get out. They can go ride in their sleighs. They can go having festivals. They can go, like down here, you can go ride through City Park and go get beignets and coffee and just really, especially now it's cold, to really enjoy and have the Christmas feeling, the
Mm,
Christmas season. That's why we call it that, the Christmas season. And we
hmm.
all want to feel it. I mean, I've actually been happy. I've actually been in a good mood. I've been, for the most part, even though there've been some crazy people like coming home tonight.
I've
So,
been meeting crazy people. I
so,
like
so
that one.
some idiot,
Okay.
some idiots out there with his super fast car trying to get himself killed on the interstate coming home tonight. And me and my son are both going, hopefully he makes it and doesn't kill nobody along the way. But I mean, for the most part, really people, and that's the best way I can describe it. They want to feel happiness again. They don't want to feel dread again. They want to feel happiness again. And Christmas is the easiest time of the year to feel that. It's a rough time of year. I'm not going to lie. For a lot of people, Christmas is a rough time of year, but for everybody else, it's a great time of year. And remember your friends and family who may not be in the best of sorts, and
Mm,
send them some love.
hmm.
You don't have to send them money. You don't have to send them food. Send them some love. That's all. It's easy. And now it's starting to sound like Sean. Damn it.
Okay, yeah. So I think I want to go back to origins. I think I'd like to talk about Christmas trees. We're going to talk about the history of the Christmas tree. Okay, here's a little tidbit for you guys.
What the hell's a Christmas tree?
It goes back to the symbolic use of evergreens all the way back to Greece and Egypt. Continues with the German tradition of candlelit trees. The traditions were brought to America in the 1800s by German settlers. In ancient times, long before Christianity, people hung evergreen boughs over their doors and windows, which was said to, again, note, keep witches, evil spirits, ghosts, and illness away. The Egyptians believed that when the god Ra was recovering from illness, which was the time of the solstice, they would fill their homes and temples with evergreen boughs. It was a cause for celebration, and this meant that they would have fruitful farms and orchards. The Druids decorated their temples with evergreen boughs as a symbol of everlasting life, and the Vikings thought that their evergreens were special plant from the god Balder. Yep, you heard it right there.
I'm just
So
leaving that one.
I know, but it's actually like really, really cool. When you get into different things like that, it's fascinating. I mean, for the longest time, Russia would not even like Christmas trees. No way. Christmas trees were banned in Russia in the days of the Soviet Union. It was not Christmas was not even celebrated. In fact, it was banned as a religious holiday in 1929. Christmas trees were banned until 1935. If people wanted to celebrate Christmas, they had to do so in secret. And after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, people were free to celebrate again. So it goes to show you, like, Christmas trees. It's an ancient thing. It wasn't even like a modern Christian thing.
Oh no,
This
I
was like
mean it
an
goes way
ancient.
back, and
Yeah.
so many different groups used it for different things.
Hmm.
Well, no, people didn't matter what religion or what spirit or what god you believed in back in the
Hmm.
day. The tree came into play somewhere along the line,
Hmm.
and it's interesting because there's a lot of what got me is when they decided to light the tree. So I'm thinking from about 2000 BC all the way up until about let's say about 1950 or 60. They used to put candles on their trees, people. Have y'all ever seen a Christmas tree go up in flames? I don't know how they did it and not burn down whole cities. See, I'd like to go back and just see that because I've seen renditions of trees with these little candle holders that are clipped to the tree and the little candles burning, and it's not burning the house down because it's far enough away from the limbs.
Hmm.
But it's spooky stuff because I mean, I've seen a Christmas tree go up in flames. It goes,
Right. No, it's
it's,
true. It's true. It really it goes quick when it goes, let me tell you.
there must
And
have been an art to it or something. Maybe they misted the trees or something. I don't know. There must have been some kind of thing we didn't know about.
mhm. No, it's true. You have to be careful around things like that. And I'll bring up something just off topic for one quick moment because a friend of mine, and many people who know me will probably know a lot of other people in the field. So a person I call a friend, Christopher Moon. Basically, this past Monday at 3 a.m., the whole house went up in flames. They lost three of their pet cats.
Damn.
They lost everything. So I think it's still determined. Like they rented this house and they basically are, I think, still, trying to regroup. But they're for those who are interested, you want to do something really nice to help somebody else. If you're able, there is a GoFundMe page that was set up by Daniel Class for who's got the Hinsdale House. So there is a GoFundMe because they're waiting for it's that awkward time where you're waiting for insurance and
Hmm.
there's just it's a really in the time of year like they're devastated over the loss of their fur babies. The whole family did get out, but really everything is just gone. So that's really cruddy. So while we're thinking, we're having things are pretty rough, just think there's somebody out there that's got it a little bit rougher. So just something a little bit of a consideration. So getting back a little bit, let's talk about some of the folklore and traditions. Here in Canada, our tradition came in the form of ice fishing, ice skating with friends and family while watching maybe a firework display. Of course, the polar bear swim. Yep, we're doing a party on the polar bear swim. Oh my gosh. But, back in ancient times, we've got, because Canada's relatively new, to many of the European countries. For example, Poland states that if you wake up, well, get through the holidays, but if you wake up in New Year's, you will basically wake up the rest of the year with, you know, let's just say if you touch the floor with the right foot when getting out of bed, you can expect a lot of luck for a whole year. How's that? I thought that was the
Well,
funniest
that
thing
works
ever.
for me. I get out of bed every day with
Oh,
right on right foot, so that works
I
for me.
know. I was like, "What?" No. But, in Scandinavia, like I say, these guys, I think they still have it together. I think a lot of the traditions came out of all of this way back in the day, and a lot of it were the Norse traditions. Um, in Eastern Europe, it's called Koleda. Koleda. Okay, that's kind of cool. But a lot of this, again, you're going back into ancient Egypt, for example. Origins of Yule goes back 4,000 years ago to ancient Egypt, and they celebrated to them because I mean, Jesus Christ, we know a couple thousand years ago, but they celebrated back to the rebirth of the god Horus, the deity of the sky, the sun, and the moon. Again, the festivities lasted 12 days. Everything seems to come back and all be around the same sort of everything 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of Yule. A
No,
lot of the
because
ancient cultures
the
have that.
damn Christians just overlaid their holidays right on top of everybody else's. They took a lot of the ideas. Well, it's like now this isn't Christmas, it's a little off track, but like Noah, the story of the flood. So if you went to a Christian school, you learned about the flood and all about Noah and the flood. The
Mhm.
problem is the Sumerians talked about the flood, the Egyptians talked about the flood, the Mesoamericans talked about the flood long before
Mm,
the Christians even knew what it was.
right.
And it's the same thing with a lot of the holidays that Christmas is overlaid on top of, or any of the holidays. It's they just they were smart in the fact that they learned how to capture the world without fighting,
Mhm.
simply
just
by
doing
taking
things
over
and
the holidays.
they were smart in the fact that
Ouch. It's but I mean the holidays seem to work. I mean today, 200 years ago this would have been a different holiday. 400 years ago it would have been a much different holiday. 900 years ago even a much more different holiday than that one. 2,000 years, an entirely different holiday than what's practiced today. Um, but it still would have been the 12 days or whatever it was. Well, 12 days of Hanukkah. I mean, it just, for some reason, the 12-day thing is important. For whatever the original story was, we'd have to go back and look because it may go way back. Well, Michelle was just talking about 4,000 years, maybe go back even further than that. But the problem is
Well,
where each culture seemed to usurp the holiday, and it kept going until now it's a worldwide holiday, and it's
mhm.
called Christmas. And still, there are some countries, like, of course, I don't think they're celebrating Christmas in North Korea, probably not in Venezuela. Cuba, they probably are, and the rest of the world is, except for a few countries in Africa. The rest of the world celebrating Christmas.
It's true.
Yeah, well,
No,
no, even some of
absolutely.
this, even some of the countries in the Middle East are celebrating Christmas.
Mhm.
Well, no, no, the Jews are celebrating Hanukkah, but still, they're all celebrating something. Kwanzaa. There's a lot of holidays that converge right here. So instead of trying to think, oh, it's a coincidence, it's not. The
Mm,
original holiday, whatever it was, how many ever thousands of years ago it was, and then ever since there, each culture's laid on top of it until finally, not a culture laid on top of a religion did, and the
right.
religion managed to infest all over. Well, the Muslims do the same thing.
Mhm. Well, I
Uh,
mean, everybody celebrates in their own way. There are some of this that goes back. I mean, okay, let's go back to Rome, the festival of Saturnalia. All of these ancient celebrations, all of these ancient cultures and folklore, all take place at this time of the year. And there's so many similarities, it's unbelievable.
what happened there? That's weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that was weird. Sorry, guys. My whole screen flickered, and then it just
I was like,
paused.
yes.
Everything just like paused. I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. But I mean, all these holidays, it's just, well, no, the Druids practice the same thing. I mean, you can just find this 12 all over the place. There's certain parts of these holidays you can just find, like the tree, the Yule log, the evergreen. It's just it's steeped in all of these cultures.
Right.
And we don't know who exactly started it. We can right now it'd be the Egyptians, but we don't know if the Sumerians did or not. It's just, but so 6,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, a holiday started, and ever since then, it's been, and
Mm,
it's because it's, what it is, people. It's because the winter solstice is important to people. It's the
mhm,
shortest day of the year, and for some reason, we all want to kind of like herd around it for whatever reason. Now,
mm,
for modern day people, it's not as important because we have calendars and we have clocks, and we know when everything's going to happen. But for them, it was different. They waited for that day because that did X amount of days to spring, to the Vernox. So,
mm,
it's these things were useful, and that's why you have these four big parts of the year where there's big party and big stuff. But the problem is they were really designed so that you would know what time it was to plant, what time it was to harvest, what when the shortest day was, because it was scary for a lot of people when we were on the longest day of the year,
mhm.
which was yesterday. Was the longest day of the year.
It
Now we're,
was, but if they're affiliating it all with ghosts and tales of the dead and things like that, they believe that the veil was the thinnest. It was a scary time of year for some
so,
people.
but is it the thin? Is it the thinnest at the summer, or
Mm,
is it at the winter? Because one of them has to be thicker, one has to be thinner,
mhm,
or is it one of the equinox? So I don't
mhm,
know. It's hard to say. Or is it all four of them? That's when there's a little thinness to the veil.
mhm. Well,
There's
for
a lot.
sure.
There's a lot of ways to describe the veil.
Mhm.
We could sit here all night and talk about the ways
Well,
to
I mean,
describe it.
and we have to look at it this way too. Here in many parts of the world, for us, we celebrate it's one day. Okay. For example, a lot of cultures, such as I'll go with Australia, for example, because I have it up. Winter in Australia starts anywhere from mid-December to early February. They start hanging wreaths on the front doors. Sometimes they'll go Christmas caroling, Christmas Eve. They much like what we do here, they decorate their houses and gardens and things like that. But they are like they go. A lot of these cultures or these countries will go. It's not just one day. It's like they really celebrate the full 12 days.
Hmm.
It's not just so much the one, because I mean, some people,
The
there
full
was a
12.
lot of controversy. Nobody, even the Bible doesn't really speak about a specific day. According to research, people, I'm not just, 'cause I'm not like, this is just research that I found. There's not exactly the day of when Christ was born. So there's a lot of speculation. So some people just were like, no, it's not on this. Some people believe it was back in September. Some people believe it was even before that. Like it's just really hard. Here, I think in the West, we tend to be more traditional that way, but there are a lot of older cultures that just don't follow it for that reason alone. Tamara says the Julesen, the Christmas gift bringers of Norway and Denmark were household elves that lived during the year in attics. That's right. In stables on Christmas Eve, they emerged to high presence all around the house. That's right. Yep. That's right. And she also mentioned, I love this one. We've talked about this one. The Iceland destructive winter spirits were the Christmas lads, the 13 trolls who invaded farms, took food, and stole the children. Again, just getting into some like really old, getting into some really old stuff. I love it. I love the old traditions.
Well, it is, and it also shows where all of this came from. It's
Right.
hard, it's when when I talk to a lot of the millennials and a lot of Z Geners about these holidays, it's kind of embedded in their head that this is Christmas and this is what it's about. And
Hmm.
well, and I brought this up last night because people give me trouble when I say Xmas or something like that. It says you're taking Christ out of Christmas, but guys and girls, Christ wasn't born on December 25th. That's not his birthday. Sorry, I don't want to break your heart, but that's the truth. You don't have to ask me. Ask the Catholic Church; they'll tell you the truth. They don't have any choice because he wasn't. So when we
Mm.
say we're celebrating the birth of Christ, it's not really true. We're really not. Y'all are because you don't know any better. The rest of us who know better are celebrating the holiday for what the holiday is.
Well, the
So
information is out there to be found.
it
Absolutely. I
is.
mean,
It's just Christians sometimes don't want to know the truth, and it's not. Look. Let me look, people. Just
respectfully, guest host. Remember that, people. Guest host.
just remember that just because it's not his real birthday does not mean he didn't exist or he didn't do what he did. He said he did. That's not the point. That's not what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is that's not his actual birthday. Sorry. Don't look it up for yourself. You don't have to believe me. You don't even, it's not even something you have to believe. There's something, it's actually a fact. You can go find out for yourself. And the way you know Jesus existed is this, it's easy. The Muslims talked about him, the Jews talked about him, and the Romans talked about him. He's in their history. Okay, now in their history, he's not the son of Christ and he's not the savior, but still, he's in their history. For the Jews and the Muslims, he's a minor prophet. For the Romans, he was just a man, and that's how they see him. So only the Christians believe that, and no one else really has to because it's. But the point is, he existed. There's evidence that he did exist because of the writings of other religions that spoke about him. So, and he had to be at least something if the other religion spoke about him. If the Romans spoke about him, the Jews and the Muslims spoke about him, then he had to at least stand out amongst the crowd. So therefore, he lived. It's all I'm trying to say. It's just not his birthday. That's all. I like Christmas for Christmas. I like it for the pagan holiday it was. I like it for the Christian holiday as well. I enjoy both ways. Actually celebrate both ways.
Mhm, mhm.
I celebrate the witches' holiday and I celebrate the Christians' holiday. And I have respect for both. And I'm neither actually, but I still have respect for both,
Mhm.
except when they try to push something on me.
There you go. Tamara says Bafana, an old woman who rode a broomstick through the air, gave children or Italian children presents at Christmas if they were good, coal if they were not. And Bafana was her name. She journeyed on Epiphany Eve. Yes, exactly, 100%. I love it. I do. I love it. This is all stuff. Again, you guys will have to, when it becomes available, check out the old Gray Zone Uncensored episodes. We're only touching on some of it. I
Yeah.
think we went through 2 or 3 segments throughout December, so there were like 6 hours of the show that included all of this that we're trying to just cram in little bits and pieces right now. So let's talk
Wait,
about
wait.
where
And by
some
the
of.
way, my name is Amelia Pisano, so just write to me if you have any complaints or
There
moans
we
or embarrassment.
go. Sure, let's go with that. Let's
That,
talk
that's what,
about
what. She is so mean to me, I swear.
so France. Nativity figures are the way to go in France. They are sold out everywhere, and most homes will often have one as decoration during the season. Yule logs made out of cherry were often burned in French homes. It is a tradition that a log was carried into the home on Christmas Eve and sprinkled with red wine. See, they know how to do it right to make the log smell nice when burning. It is customary that the log and candles be left burning all night with food and drinks left out in case baby Jesus and Mother Mary come past during the night. I think that is a really nice tradition as well. And Joe
Uh,
can't speak right
no, I
now.
was thinking. No, I was saying, but
He's like, "What?
no,
I
I was
still can't
thinking.
get past the red wine." So,
I'm the red wine. No, I was thinking it just nice and especially cherry. What is that? Cherry flavored for cherry smelling
yeah, cherry
log. That
trees
would be
and cherry
nice. I mean,
wood.
it'd be nice in your
Yes,
house. Well,
yes.
people, we when we do fires down here, we actually sometimes soak the logs in different flavors, different smells, I should say. And we have
Mhm,
these little packets we use that actually make the flames blue, green, gold, purple, orange, yellow. It's really pretty, and
mhm,
it's very, very, very nice. I like these kind of holidays. It's relaxing for me. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun torturing the kids or the grandkids or whoever, whatever we happen to be torturing them with that day.
terrible.
It's just a good holiday, and I,
Right.
I enjoy going back. And like I said, that would be interesting to go back. I wonder if somebody could set up like a Christmas in Egypt, a 4,000-year-old Christmas in Egypt, the holiday that they celebrated this time of the year. I would I wonder if anybody even knows how that holiday even works anymore. Because I would like to see it. It would be interesting to see. Well, the Egyptians are fascinating people. Not so much today, but their past is I mean, think about it. They were the most powerful nation in the world for a long time.
Mhm,
But just like every powerful nation, eventually they collapse. They become too big and they collapse on their own weight. Same thing that happened to the Romans.
mhm,
It's the same thing that happened to the Greeks, and one day will happen to other people. It's but their holidays and their traditions still live on.
mhm,
Lots of Roman holidays progressed into Greek holidays, into well, I should say Greek holidays progressed into Roman holidays, and progressed into Italian holidays, which progressed into other holidays around the world, and they're just being overlaid. And then, like I said earlier, eventually the Christians overlaid their holidays over everybody else's.
mhm.
Not somebody texted me earlier about no, 4th of July is an American holiday. I mean, come on. I mean, that's not like a holiday of any pagans or Christians or
No,
anything.
it's an
It's
American
just an
holiday.
American holiday. Yes, it's
That's
when we
right.
declared independence. It has nothing to do with anything else. It was just that date. They
Mhm.
decided to go ape
There we go.
and free Canada for some reason. We should have just made y'all states.
So Tamara says Chris Kindle riding a tiny deer laden with sweets and toys. An angel visited German families every Christmas Eve. The pretty creature was an emissary from heaven, and so was the called. Oh, and was so also called the Christ child. Did I say that properly? Because it's sort of, and so was called. Okay, yeah, the Christ child. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Don't be
Keep
getting
bringing
my
them up,
religious
Tamara.
friends calling here, man.
I can't give away the whole gray zone. No.
Well, it's funny because I've been, worked with a lot of Christians, and
Mhm,
a lot. I actually worked with a lot of, I should say, multi religions. But right now,
mhm,
everybody's kind of just celebrating. Even my Jewish friends, they celebrate what I call the hidden Christmas,
mm,
because their kids are all like, they love their religion and all, but the kids are like, it's Christmas Day, my friends. It's Christmas Day. And I got a couple of my Jewish friends. I call it the hidden Christmas. They do like a little side Christmas along with Hanukkah. It's interesting, but they do celebrate it, and it's celebrated by a lot of people. And really,
mhm,
people don't stress yourself out about Christmas. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Drink all the funny coffees they got around right now. Eat all the weird cookies. You can go on diet in the summertime. Um, there's
mhm,
lots of foods, there's rolled cakes. And you know what it is? A lot of this candy and this food comes from way back in the past. A lot of the stuff we eat today is not modern and invented. It was invented back in the past, unless you're talking about like certain types of candies. Oh man, I got a friend that makes these chocolate truffles. Oh my god, that's probably why I gained 20 pounds. Wait till y'all see the white fudge I make. Oh, y'all gonna be calling me on the phone trying to send me some of that fudge. Hey, look, I hook Chris Kringle up. Like I was saying earlier, I make sure there's 2 shots of expensive whiskey or a good Canadian whiskey and a nice big fat rolled cigar. Yes, and 2 cookies, and not like regular cookies, but
Two
different.
cookies with the cigars hardcore
No,
and
no, it's
two
not. It's not.
cookies.
It's not like a sweet cookie. It's not like
That's
that. It's more like a
what?
British. It's more like a British biscuit, really. But still,
It's just
it's.
funny because y'all hardcore with the booze and the cigar,
Well,
and you
you gotta
come
have a
out
little
with
snack.
two cookies.
You gotta have a snack. I used to leave him. I used to leave him those little the crackers with the
Oh
ham and the Swiss and
God.
the cracker
Ah,
along with it. You gotta leave him some booze. I mean, come on, a man been flying around the world. People been aggravating him. Traffic jam, star jam. I mean, come on, man. A good cigar, he can relax. He go home and see Miss Claus. He'll have a nice little
and have his
buzz.
cookies.
And Miss Claus will be going, "Oh,
Right.
hey, baby, how you doing? We gonna have some more L's."
Give me the cookies.
Where do you
Okay,
think the L's come from, people? Come on now.
Uh,
Uh,
Tamara says, Kolyada on Christmas Eve in Russia, a white-robed elf maiden traveled by sleigh from house to house. The children of the villages sang carols to honor her. I like that a whole lot.
there's a lot of there seems to be a lot of elves around.
I
Uh,
know, yes, but hey, a lot that again, we're getting back into, um, you know, pagan and Druidism when they believe that the elven people, which a lot of people believe are extraterrestrials, by the way,
Probably because
very
they were.
elevated extraterrestrials.
If you start listening to their talents, they sound like they're extraterrestrials down here messing around with these goofy humans. Going, these guys are just doofuses. They believe anything, man.
uh, Tamara says, I do believe in Nova Scotia, Canada. They used to dress up in scary costumes and go door to door, and they would drink alcohol on Christmas Eve. They were called mumblers.
Yeah,
I
because
love,
all that
I love
alcohol
it.
they were drinking. Yeah, I
Mumblers.
could go for that though. Give me some.
I know it's cool.
I can't drink no
So it's
alcohol
actually
till
pretty
April.
funny. I know it's actually pretty
I
funny. I
only
love
drink
it.
alcohol in April, so I can't drink none until then.
Do, do, do. I know.
It's
I don't know. That's pretty cool. But we'll go back on to let's talk about Greece on Christmas Eve. Children, especially the boys, will go out singing carols in the streets. They would play drums and triangles as they sang. Sometimes they would carry model boats they created with nuts and painted gold. This is a very old custom in the Greek islands, especially. If the children sing well, they might even be given things to eat, like nuts and sweets, dried figs. They might even be given money. Yeah, it
yeah, I
is
want the money.
very
Keep damn food.
it's very old tradition custom to keep a shallow wooden bowl with a piece of wire suspended across it with a Springer basil wrapped around a wooden cross that hangs from the wire. The water is kept in the pool to keep. Okay, that's interesting. The water is kept in the pool to keep the basil alive and fresh. Once a day, someone in the family, usually the mother, dips across the basil in some of the holy water and uses it to sprinkle water in each room of the house. This is believed again to keep away the bad spirits. If spirits are only meant to tear okay, they're only meant to come up during the 12-day period from Christmas to January the 6th, which is the Epiphany. These menacing spirits do things like putting out fires and making milk go bad. Okay, so they put the fire in the hearth, I have to assume, and make milk go bad. Therefore, having a fire burning through the 12 days of Christmas is also meant to keep them away. In fact, burning all the shoes is meant to be a very good way of
Let
scaring
me
them off.
burn my damn shoes, man.
I
Things
don't know. I'm
expensive.
just reading it, man. It's like,
I'll
what?
be smacking somebody upside their head.
I'm like, what the
Uh,
heck is that all about? I know. So, what I'm going to do right now before we continue on is I'm going to do our station and sponsor ID. So, you guys are listening to our basically just open talk, outer realm, talking about ancient folklore and traditions and so on for Christmas. So, it's kind of nice. Tamara's right into it, man. She's just like popping things up like crazy. So, everybody, feel free to just chime in. But again, we will. I guess there's not a whole lot of questions to answer. It's just more informative, but we will answer questions if you put them out there. We are also fully sponsored, guys, by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee, who are instrumental in keeping us here 2 nights a week. For your listening pleasure. So big
I was
thank you
thinking
to
that
Folgers.
I
We
may have to go
appreciate
make
you
me
so
some
much.
Folgers
And
coffee.
somebody's talking while I'm doing station ID. And you
I
know
might
what?
need some damn Folgers coffee. Look, people, Folgers
He's
is
a
good
hard
coffee.
taskmaster too, because if I don't do the station ID,
I need some damn Folgers. You shouldn't.
okay,
You see, you went and
damn
said that
Folgers.
now one
I
damn
want some
coffee.
too. I
You
want.
see what you did? You see what you did? You said that now one damn coffee. I love
See,
look, people.
see,
Folgers
this is
Black
what I
Silk
get.
is black.
Try to do
Look,
the station ID.
Folgers Black Silk is almost. It's just good. It's just good coffee.
Okay,
Especially if you use some of that ice cream creamer. Oh my god!
so I'm just gonna
And a
not
half
do
a
the
pound of sugar.
station ID.
I just did the station ID for you. Don't worry about it.
Well,
It's
we did the sponsor ID.
well,
Go
look,
ahead.
people, we're fixing to change all kind of numbers on the station. We're probably going back to
Don't do
1077. We're
next week,
going to
Michelle.
Roku. It's going to get
We're
real
gonna start doing
confusing.
that station ID.
It's going to get real confusing for the next couple of weeks. So y'all just hang on. Poor Michelle's going to probably go green headed before it's all over and done with.
Now.
It's you see, she's got to put up with me. You see how that works? You got to know how to torture her. Wait, I'm no torture. Bubbles is way bigger torture than I am. What can I tell you? I love Bubbles. Oh, Lord. No, I'm just teasing.
Wow. Kick Bubble when she's down.
Kick her in the butt. Kick her in a bubble. That's right.
Oh,
Kick her in
yeah.
kick her in a bubble butt. Okay, we'll go with that.
You be freaking sitting
No,
there
I
eating that
actually,
man Bubbles
I,
just right there.
I consider Amelia a friend. I like to pick on her, but I do consider her a friend. And I try to write to her every day. She's even though she's an alien. We're not going there tonight.
I know.
We'll wait till she's back to talk about this alien connection. People, she took a picture of herself on the TV and it was an alien. I got the picture somewhere. It just freaks me out.
Whatever. Are we giving away books or something?
Oh, wait.
Are we giving away?
God.
Let's give away
You
the
see,
lightsaber.
boy, the abuse I take around here, man. You would never know I was a boss. I'm telling you, you'd never have no idea.
Who's the boss? I want to.
See what I'm telling you? See, I'm the
it.
wannabe boss. That's how that works out.
Whatever. He's the wannabe boss. I'm the
That's
boss.
what I just said. I'm the wannabe boss. Oh my god! Let me see if I can find these sabers. Hold on a second. Oh,
okay.
Lord.
Yeah. So put out your contest thingy as to who gets said lightsaber.
Okay, before we get started, the email is icar@cox.net because I keep giving away stuff and forgetting to give out the email. So you can't win if you don't know the damn email.
Okay, wait, I'm doing it. icar at
cox.net. ICAR at cox.net.
icar at cox.net right there.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, that works. So hold on. Let me find.
Okay.
He sent me this link.
Write
earlier.
that down, people.
Let's
Write
see.
that
I know he
down.
sent me this lightsaber.
I'm just gonna go.
Well, we give these lightsabers away, by the way, which we're giving away 2 of them. We send you copies of 36, 37, and 38 of Writers of the Future. These are books that people had submitted and won. These are anthologies, what they are. And we send these along with the saber. They're great stuff. All the stories are great. Remember this: every story in the book and every illustration in the book is a winner. So they're really cool, and it's a lot to read. And you can give them to kids up to 7 and up. Actually, I'd say about 9 and up. They're PG rated. There's no bloods, guts, gore, sex, or anything like that in them, and they're still entertaining stories. I know it's freaking amazing, isn't it? It always cracks me up that they can be that good and not have any of the things that Hollywood needs to make a good book. So these are 2 we're giving away. We're giving away 2 Obi-Wan. What did I do with it?
I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay, let me pull it up on the screen.
icar at cox.net.
Okay.
There it is.
Well, that's not it. Okay, we have to go with this one then. So this is it. Okay, here we go. Okay, these are what it is. These are Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsabers. This particular model sells for right around $300. I think it's $259 right now. It's
so if you're in Canada, it'd probably be about $500.
Yes, well, they're on sale right now. Actually, they're regularly about $400, right. And they have now. He's been giving away different types. One of the Obi-Wans we gave away was $899. One of the Qui-Gon, he gave away 5 of them that were $899. Most of them are running somewhere between $200 and $500. but those were special ones, people who got them. And what killed me is out of the 4 we gave away, 2 of them were given away overseas. One went to Ackland, not New Jersey, Finland, not Finland. Jesus, Joe,
One went to
New Zealand.
Saskatchewan,
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, we had one go to Canada, and this one went to New Zealand, and so it's been kind of interesting where they going. Oh, and then we had the girl who wrote in with her daughter's name. What was her name the other night? Summer, winter, or something winter. Anyway, it was goofy, but she won. Anyway, they had a lot of winners, but we gave a lot of books away last night. We gave away 18 books and 2 lightsabers last night. So, but that was what that show was about. We were just giving away. John and Emily Goodwin were with me from Writers of the Future, and we were just giving those books away. So these two, so hold on a second. Somebody's texting me.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm just going.
Well, somebody was texting me, and it just popped up over the screen while we were talking. So these two Obi-Wan, these are replicas of Star Wars. The one Obi-Wan carries, they're full length. They're like this, and that was what's nice about these. You see how long this blade is on this one. It's pretty damn long. Now this is a fighter blade, so you can whack people, stab people. You can go to the sport clubs where they have they have actual fighting matches. You can go fight with your sword and get in trouble and stab people and have a whole blast. They come full sound effects. And actually, believe it or not, you can actually change the colors on these. So, because Obi-Wan's a little bit darker blue, but you can change the colors. You can adjust the tones, the shades, the whole 9 yards. And it does make all kind of wonderful sounds. And it does by just moving the blades. You don't have to push anything, hold anything. They're cool as hell. They're a lot of fun to play with. And I don't know what the question's going to be yet. I'm thinking what the question's going to be. I don't know.
Now we're going to be here for a while.
No, because we've been giving away. We gave away some easy ones and we gave away some hard ones. Like when we talked about when the gala event for Writers of the Future was going to start, which is April 28th. So if you listened to my other show, you would have known that. But see, you're a different audience, so we can't do all that because y'all would have no idea when that date was.
You have to talk about something, maybe a past Outer Realm guest from last week, or talk about what you talked about on the last time you were on the show, a few weeks ago. Talk about something from tonight.
Well, it could be something from tonight.
What do you like to have with your cigar and your whiskey or your whatever?
Hey, see how mean just say a cracker, a piece of cheese, a piece of ham. Matter of fact, it's like having a little mini muffalata with your little shot of. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, this is gonna wait. I gotta write this down. Where's the pen at? Write this down for me. Okay, for the person for number 20 on the email and number 30 on the email. If you can tell me what type of whiskey I flashed across the screen a little while ago.
There we go.
If you can tell me what that is, then
it's whiskey in the US, but it's actually called rye because it is Canadian.
It's called whiskey anyway. Don't be telling what it is. You're giving it away, damn it. Listen at her.
Because some people be confused to the Canadian people going,
she loves her audience. You see how she's trying to get y'all free coffee, trying to get y'all free booze.
I'm not.
Oh,
so
by the
number
way,
20 and number 30?
Yeah, number 20 and number 30. And by the way, we're going to be giving away a case of this whiskey on New Year's Eve. Yes, a whole case.
Well, shoot, man.
Yes, actually aged. It was sent to me by a friend of mine who lives in Canada.
Do employees of the United Public Radio get to?
If he sends me 2, I'll send it. I'll tell you what, if he sends me 2, I'll send all y'all a bottle. Well, actually, I'll have him mail you a bottle because he's in Canada. Somehow I know that this guy gets stuff across the borders without paying hardly anything. I'm not asking. I don't care. As long as it gets to my house with the mail.
Questions asked.
No questions asked. That's right. Well, no, he deals in liquor up there. He's the one that got me. Was it the Jameson? He sent me a bottle of this stuff. It was like $3,500 or $4,500 a bottle. Don't get me wrong. It was good. And I'm sure Santa Claus would have loved it. But I don't know. That's a lot of money for whiskey. Yeah. I've actually drunk some more expensive than that, but it's just, I'm not rich, so I can't afford it anyway. But I don't it's just a lot of money for whiskey. I mean, cheap, Jack Daniels will do fine. Well, I'm not allowed to drink Jack Daniels, but still.
Are we allowed to be like talking about people who aren't paying me?
Yes, we can, because we're trying to get sponsors, especially since we're going to be on Roku. Oh, and speaking, I can't talk about that one, but I may actually have a
But that you
sponsor for
just
you
did.
and for me. No. They're just friends of ours, but we're allowed to talk about friends all we want. But friends of the network,
Okay.
who
Okay.
are people who have done donations or have sent things along, those we can talk about.
Or somebody who wants to sponsor the Outer
Or
Realm and
somebody
have
wants to sponsor it.
unbelievable coverage.
Yes,
Just saying.
because Michelle wants y'all to, because this one covers her fees, so she wants one that gives her some money.
No, no. I keep harping about freaking Folgers commercials. Okay, that gives me like just
Folgers is
happiness.
great, and
Tamara
they
sent
actually
her
they
email.
cool. She was paying attention. She was paying attention. We're about 10 minutes for the end of the show. We'll go through and read them. And remember, you're going to get a copy of. Hold on, this is Bob, by the way, in case y'all can't see.
There we go. Oh,
Bob
bam.
hangs out with us most
Bob
nights.
just got like knocked on the noggin.
Hey, baby.
I
Bob, you go
know.
over here, you pervert. Oh, you know what else? And since I like Michelle, I'm gonna send out a special. I got a couple of these left.
It's upside down. But
Sorry.
hey, you know what? They did. Writers of the Future sent me that exact one. And let me tell you something, it is fantastic.
And now this is an audio version. Now you won't get them from me; they'll be sent to you from Writers of the Future. Everything else that's coming in, most everything I got left in the house now is being donated to a local school, but or
Bob
a
looks
local
tired.
library.
I know. Okay.
But so he's going to be that, and then it's going to be. This is last year's winners, which is some excellent stories in here. I've read all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do 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 do. And then it's going to be
Okay.
36 and 37, which is right there and right there. This is some other ones though.
How many of those books are going with the lightsaber?
These three right here, 36, 37, and 38.
Are going with both
With both
lightsabers.
lightsabers, yes.
Okay.
And we'll
Wow. So
probably
you
we'll
guys
probably give away
like,
2 more sets before the end of the night, so we're giving them away. But
yeah.
we're giving away stuff all the way to the first of the year. We've been giving a lot of stuff away. Well, originally I was trying to send them. Then I just called John and said, "Why don't you? I'll just send you the people, and then you can send them." And because the guy with the lightsabers mail them directly out.
Right.
Yeah, we don't they don't come here. They go straight to y'all. And I don't.
Okay.
He's got a good deal. He ships all over the place. Yes, he does. No, actually, I don't. Where did it come from? Oh, that's an email. No, actually, I don't drink. I can honestly say if I drink, it'll be once a year at Writers of the Future, and it'll only be one time. Yeah, it's just I'm just not a big drinker. I used to be when I was young, but I'm not now. Yes, I got other things I want to spend my money on. That's all. That's what it really comes down to. There's just other things I want to spend my money on, and part of it is some of the new stuff we're adding to the network here real soon. Roku's going to be interesting. Can y'all imagine? Y'all will get to see Michelle in a 70-inch television now.
Oh boy, some people can do that right now.
Well, you can watch us now if you've got YouTube or any of that. You can pop it up on your TV and watch it on your TV right now. But this is
Roku
actual television. It's actually a TV channel, and the shows will be scheduled. So your live shows will be scheduled in, but the reruns will have their own schedules. So we will start seeing regular reruns of different shows, and they will have their own rerun date. Like Michelle will have, because she's got 2 shows, there'll be 2 other rerun slots. So you'll see that there'll be a certain time on a certain day, and they won't be on Wednesday or Thursday. They'll probably be on like Monday and Friday or something like that, and they'll be midday more than likely. So you'll be able to catch them. Like if you're a housewife or if you're a house dad,
yeah,
something like that.
every day.
Or if you do your work from home, you'll be able to watch and enjoy the show from there.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go get on your computer or anything. You just flip on your television and go. You won't need no computer or anything. That means you can watch on the big, for all you guys that are crushing Michelle, you can watch on the big screen TV.
Head into Roku. Yeah.
That's right. And if everybody's good and Roku works the way Michelle and I hope it's going to work, probably within 3 months, we will be on Amazon as well. So for the people who don't have Roku and do have Amazon, we will be available there too. And then for our Apple and Samsung friend, probably somewhere around midsummer, we will be adding Apple TV and Samsung television, and also Apple phone and Samsung television. And then there'll be Vizio in it. So what's going to happen is there'll be 6 television venues you can watch us on, and 8 video venues you can watch us on.
Ooh,
what's nice for us is it opens up a potential audience of 4.6 billion people. No, it's not. We're not going to get all that in, but it gives us a much larger audience to choose.
So we'd be going from like between 2.7 and
Yeah.
3.4
So
million to 6 billion people, is what you're saying.
right now,
Whoosh, that's
probably
crazy.
our reach right now is probably, well, our potential reach probably right now is around 200 million people worldwide, maybe 300 million if you count China and India. But
Mhm.
um, and we could actually say it's 3 billion, but we'd be lying because most of the people don't have cell phones to start off with. So
Mm.
for us, it's probably around 200 to 400 million people we have now. By the way, our SoundCloud's about to break. It'll make a half a billion real soon. It's I think at 480 million, 490 million, somewhere around there. So it's a great thing, and I appreciate everybody who goes over there and clicks and clicks and clicks and clicks and clicks. And you know what I like about Roku? You can't click. It don't count the click more than once. So it don't matter
Oh,
how many times you listen to it. We only get the number one time. That's what. So
boy.
it's true, clean numbers. Well, we
Hmm.
could end up. We'd have like 2 billion in some of the shows if we allowed everybody to listen to it 3 and 4 and 5 times. Because well, some of the
Hmm.
shows get listened to a lot. Yeah,
Yep,
well,
yep,
different
yep.
shows get different things. Yes, you know,
Hmm.
some. So since we know she's a bad girl, what are you getting for Christmas?
Who?
You.
Whatever I want.
Oh, look, you see, talk about Pat. Listen at her. Oh my God, you sound like Lola. You spoil rotten. Oh God.
Yeah, Lola and I are kindred spirits.
Oh my God. And Lola, anybody that doesn't know who Lola is, she's just a
I tell
bad
people
spoiled
don't
child.
spend money on me because I have money that buy myself what I want.
That's pretty much what I tell them too.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
tell
people
people all the time,
spending
you're not
like
going to get what I want anyway, so just let me
hard-earned
buy what
money
I
on
want.
me. Not that I don't welcome gifts, but my family said, "Well, what do you want for Christmas?" I'm, "Don't worry, I have what I want." So that's why I say whatever I want. I just got,
That's like
I go
everybody
out
this year.
and
Everybody
I'm
says,
not
what do
hard
you
to
want? What do you
please.
want? I said, I just remodeled my house. I just put all new flooring in and all new furniture and appliances. I think I've had a Merry Happy Death Christmas. I'm
Ancient,
quite happy.
ancient Templar sword, if I could find one.
Yes, you know. Oh, I seen why it was a replica. I seen one not that long ago. I tried because I collect swords. I mainly Asian type swords, but still I run across them from time to time. I seen a really nice one in a place in Pensacola, Florida. It was really nice. I asked the guy what he wanted. He said he wanted about $3,000. I said, "Well, it's a replica, right?" He said, "Yeah, it's a replica." He said, "But it's a very accurate replica." He said, "You could go to
Mm.
any real sword." He told me what sword it was made off of because the sword was actually named, but I didn't pay that much attention. Still, it was pretty. I thought about getting it, and I said, "Man, I can give you $3,000 for a freaking sword. You can forget it." Uh,
And they get expensive. There's a lot
they
of
do. Well, when I
really
was at
good.
Dragon Con, I had looked at a couple I wanted to add to my collection. They went $700 and $900. Now, people, I love Dragon Con, but I can get them same swords online for about a buck 50. Uh,
Yeah.
so why would I? And they're gorgeous swords. And people, so when you get a real sword, one, the sword needs to go all the way through the hilt. It doesn't need to stop at the neck. It needs to go all the way through the hilt. And then you need to be able to stick it in something and bend it back and let it go. And it should go whoop, 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 and the sword should not bend.
So remember that because Joe is essentially saying he would like some swords for Christmas since we're on
Yes,
the
well, I
topic of
got I got
history.
quite. I don't know. Lynn's going to have any more swords. I got like 30 now. I don't think
And
she's going to let me
my
have any
son
more.
collects ancient
Actually, one of
weapons.
them I'm
Both of
sending
my
to.
boys
I'm
do.
bringing.
Yeah.
Wait till I try to bring it on the airport this year when I go to Emily's. I told Emily I'm gonna bring her one of my dragon. I bring her one of the dragon swords. It's 440 surgical steel, so I said I'll bring you this. It's about, it's only about yay long. It's one of the baby swords from the collection. I said I'm gonna bring you this. It comes with its own throwing swords and everything. It's really nice. It's got
Right.
a dragon, a Chinese dragon wrapped around it. But I tell people with those, I would wrap them with a leather around the Chinese dragon. One to protect your dragon, but two to protect your hand. But a lot of my friends actually sword fight. Yes, they're idiots. From every once in a while they get hurt. It's no, they real swords, not foils, real swords. Yeah, it's fun to watch, but I don't want to get nothing chopped off, or I don't want to lose a finger or something like that.
Well,
But
I'm going to put this out there and I'm going to advertise Toledo's because I bought, my boys collect swords and Toledo is one of the best sword makers out of Spain and they
there
do
you go.
beautiful replica swords. Um, so that's they're high quality. I mean, you can take your arm off with one of those. They're really,
Mm,
really well made and they're not inexpensive, but if you want something of good quality that isn't original, you know. So
yeah. that's what I was saying. They probably make it to the standard with the full hilt and
Oh yeah,
see,
they're very
people don't
heavy,
understand the
very
reason
heavy,
is
sharp.
the sword has to be
Mhm.
flexible. That's what makes it a real sword.
Right.
And if you bend it to one side and it stays bent, well, you got ripped off. Or if it breaks, you got ripped off because a real sword won't do that. The way they're heated, treated, and that's the way they're done. Um,
Mm.
and
We're
if
gonna.
it's a good sword, good swords are worth paying good money for. It's just what it comes down to. Because you can go buy any, so you can go to any flea market and buy a set of swords for like $80. I mean, a set, 3 swords, $80, and then you can come with a stand.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. If when the end of the world comes, I wouldn't use them to defend your life. That's all I'm saying. Because
I would use a Toledo sword. Let me tell you
that's
what.
what I'm saying. Well,
So
yeah,
Toledo, feel free sponsorship over here.
I got my swords for when the zombies apocalypse comes, buddy.
Uh,
I'm ready. I
so
got
we're
two
we're
sets
gonna
I'll be
be
carrying.
we're then we got like lightsaber sound effects for swords. So
Yes.
we,
Well, I'm
we
thinking
should
about
look at
Santa Claus. I
emails.
might leave one of them for him for his song. I might leave one for Santa Claus this year.
Yeah,
There
but
we go. I wonder if he'd like a new sword.
we're heading into slowly like 15 minutes, top of the hour.
Well,
Did you want
we
to?
got days, man. We got days. We own the place. What can they tell us? Really? What can they tell us? They tell them shut up, go home, or something. Wait, why is my
No,
house shaking?
no.
Okay, that freaked me out for a minute. Let me see. Where's my email?
People actually really like excited. Let's
Let's
just do it.
see. Let's see. No, it was not Jack Daniels. Who wrote that? So now it's going to be like number 21 or 22 because number 20 was Jack Daniels. Hey, hold on. Why does this girl keep popping back
Well,
up on
then
the
it
screen?
goes to yeah. I mean,
It
goes
just
to.
progresses up, yeah. And each one will
Mhm.
progress up each time. Why won't my email stay open? And no, I don't care about politics.
Uh, no,
Michelle
we
does
have
not allow me to talk about politics.
not on this show.
It's,
You have your own darn political show
that's right, man.
that
It's
I
Charles.
plug after every end of the Outer Realm on a
Yes, and
Thursday.
it's been getting insane over there lately. It's
While we're looking,
I'm breaking Jay in. What the hell is that? Oh, $5. Who sent me that crap? Okay, let's see. Lisa L. McDonald.
Lisa L. McDonald is number 20.
She's like 23, but she actually got it right. No, I can't say the name because 30 hasn't come in yet. Lisa L. McDonald, where are you from? Hold on, let me click this and see where this is from. This is from where this is from. What the hell? You got to include. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say where you're from. I mean, we're still waiting for number 30. So
Okay.
you have to say where you're
This
from.
is Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Ooh, Massachusetts, staying in
So
the
Cambridge.
USA, that one.
That's the first win of anything we've had in Mass or Cambridge for that's interesting. I
There
want to
we
know
go.
where.
So Lisa L.
So you
McDonald.
people in
I'll put it
Cambridge
right
play with
here.
lightsabers, so see, let's hope for y'all after
Okay.
all.
So I'm just gonna put her name up here, okay? I hope I spelled this right. Is it a small c or is it MAC?
Wait, hold on. Let me go back. No, it's like it's a capital M, small C. Yeah,
Oh, capital M, small
yeah,
c.
small C.
Okay,
Like the
McDonald,
restaurant. Yeah, it's like the restaurant, except
winner
it's got
of
the thing
the
in between it.
first lightsaber. It's the
Southern
first
Comfort. Where did you see Southern Comfort?
lightsaber.
Araya Nelson says it's Southern Comfort. No, it's not Southern Comfort.
Lightsaber.
I haven't had a glass of Southern
Ring.
Comfort since I got like 25 or something, and that would have been called a Southern Screw.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. And remember, people, we're giving these away 2 a day, all the way until until Christmas, until New Year's. And now this one, he will get the order tomorrow for these 2. He will ship them tomorrow because it's a Friday, but I doubt you'll see it before Christmas. Some people might be one day, but being it's the holidays, I would figure Monday or Tuesday of next week before you see it. Well, the books will be shipped from LA.
Hi again, Tara. We're still waiting for number 30.
Yeah, we're not there. We're at 29. And 29 was what? A duel? That's not even liquor. Wait. I mean, that's not even whiskey. I mean, come
Still
on,
waiting on
man.
number 30. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
We're nearing the end of the
Well, you
show,
see, that
guys.
just tells me y'all were not paying attention when I was. And you even heard
No.
Michelle told me to put the damn thing down.
He
And you know
wrote
what?
it right up there. He
And
did.
you can't even go back right now until the show's over, so you can't even go
No.
backwards.
No, you
Okay, so
can't.
30
It's
got it
live
wrong,
mode.
31 got it wrong, 32 got it wrong.
I
Oh,
know.
people. Well, at least somebody got it right. So,
I know. So there it is. There's the first one.
okay, wait, is it? Wait, is this? Wait, where did it go? I thought I seen that next one, but oh, so it's Paul Malone from Paul. Anyway, they're from Palm Beach.
Oh, so it's okay. Malone.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, Paul, are you the clothes guy down there? Because I like, there's a Paul
mm,
Malone I buy clothes from sometimes,
that's the
ties and stuff like that.
second
Is that y'all?
winner.
I mean,
Okay,
are
so
you
this
him?
is
Is what I'm trying to ask.
oh,
Well, there's a fashion name. It's a fashion brand actually by Paul Malone, and they're out of
right,
Palm Beach.
and
No relation, huh? Well, that's just
Home
weird.
Alone is the winner of the
I don't think we've
second.
had anybody. And y'all in West Palm Beach is the same place. You got to be related to them. You got to be like kin or something.
Giveaway.
No, I buy ties, not these. But these are just play ties, but I buy expensive real ties from them, and not this stem vest and stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They have pretty good stuff. Oh look, Kate, you can't put it in here, Caitlin. You got to put it in the email. See, she knew Crown Royal. People, look, I'll put it up one more time since the goofballs that missed it. In case you don't know what kind of liquor this is, it's called Crown Royal. It's a Canadian whiskey, is what it is. It's actually one of the Canadians' better
It's
whiskeys
called
they
a
make.
rye,
Hey,
and
whatever. We
they
don't call
have
it rye down
it
here.
is. It's rye. It's rye. It's not whiskey. It's rye.
Yeah,
You
it's
people will call it
very, it's
whiskey.
very. No, y'all put the label on. It's
It
Canadian whiskey. I didn't put that damn label on there. It's but it's very mellow. Well, it's not inexpensive. It's not outrageously expensive, but it's not inexpensive. It's, for a decent sized bottle, you could probably run you 40, $50.
Crown Royal, Crown Royal, Crown Royal. There it is.
I
Yes.
love me some Crown. Yes. Oh, well, look, guys. I'll let Michelle know because tomorrow night on the Centralist and the second half of Centralist, not the first half, we're going to be giving away 2 more lightsabers and 12 books.
There we
So y'all can
go.
come check it out and plug it in if it's politics you don't want to hear about. I'm
Okay.
not even sure what we're talking about. I know one of our
So
other co-hosts or one of our other what do you call them? She's not quite a
the
co-host yet.
guest co-host,
She's a guest
kind of
co-host.
like what you are
She's
tonight.
the experimental co-host. I'm not experimental though. I'm just a pain in the ass.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it to you.
I try hard to act like Emily. Thank you very much. Damn, Emily, they're giving me
Uh,
trouble, babe. I mean, Amelia. See, now I'm in trouble again. You give me
okay.
trouble
You
all the
are in
time.
trouble because what the hell. So we're giving away 3 books with each of these lightsabers. Are you giving
Yes.
away any books by themselves right now?
It's you know what? We can give away three more sets. I mean, 2 more sets of 3 because they come in threes.
Okay. So
We
it's
can
just
give
the
2
books.
more sets. Yes, it's just the
Okay.
books.
Just the
So
books.
it's going to be I'll give away like that. It's going to be these 3 right here. Okay, so you got this is this year's winners. This
Okay.
is even though you barely got to see it. This is last year. Dun, 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 with the sexy girl on it. And this is the year before. So these 2 books are alike because they came out at the same time because COVID, they couldn't be released for 2 years because of COVID. So the first time I got to go to Writers of the Future, they had double books. And they had 24 winners there and 24 illustrators there, and it was insane.
So we're giving
But they're good.
away 2 sets of 3 or 3 sets of 3?
2, we can give away 3 sets of 3. We got
Okay.
enough to
3
give away 3
sets.
sets of 3.
Okay. Of 3. So
So
we're
I'm
going to
gonna
go
make
with
this real easy.
email
It's
iCar. Hold
we'll do
on.
5. Okay, go
At
ahead.
Cox.net.
.net.
Okay. I'm going to put this up
So
right now.
winner 10, 20, and 30. If you can tell me who sponsors Writers of the Future, not who writes it, not who runs it, not who operates it, but who sponsors it. I'll give you a hint. It's a gentleman. It's one person. He's a gentleman, and he's deceased. And somebody just gave a name and was smack her in the head. Y'all can figure it out though. So anyway, it's 10, 20, and 30. We want to give these books away, so we're not making the questions
Hanlon,
real hard.
it's right here in the banner. We're leaving it up for you. It's right at the very end of this banner.
Yeah, so it's 10, 20, or 30 in the book.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what we'll do. whoever puts it in the chat first, I'll send y'all a set too.
Ooh, and in the chat. So, okay, so it's numbers what? 10,
10, 20, and
20,
30 on an
30
email. But if
plus
anybody
chat.
puts up who the sponsor of this the Writers of the Future is in the chat, we'll send y'all a set as well.
Okay, well, don't put it in the chat just yet. Give everybody a chance to email first.
Yeah, so it's
Because you're going to be giving it away. It's
let
going to
me let
be
me let me make sure I got my email still open.
yes.
Let me
Okay.
refresh my email. Start off with.
Okay. So let's do that because we've got all of like 6 minutes to spare, guys.
Okay, Kathy from LA won the first set.
Okay. What? How do you? Okay. What's
It
Kathy?
just says, actually it says Kathleen, and
Kathleen.
she didn't put her last name, but she's from Los Angeles,
Okay.
which is cool because you can just drive over and get yours. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. And let's see, let's
Who's the
see.
sponsor for Writers of the Future radio show that we have here, Tamara, on the network?
Well, we're asking who sponsors the books, but it's the same thing
Oh, who
because the
sponsors
same
the books?
yeah. So because the same
Okay.
person who sponsors all of it. And I will
Okay.
tell you this, I'll give y'all another clue. He's deceased.
Okay.
Yes. So, and it's not
So
John
now we're
Goodwin or
waiting
Emily Goodwin.
on number 20 and number
Let's
30.
see. Let's see. Let's see. Number 20 is Myra Morgan. Well, that's a weird name. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody. Myra
No.
Morgan. And
Why
where
would
are
you do
you
that?
from? Myra Morgan. Oh, she's from Pass. Well, you can come by and get a set here.
All right. Now, number
Now, that's just
30.
weird. I've never had anybody ever win anything in Mississippi or nowhere. Wow, that's weird. That's like fate or something there. That's just weird. So we still got 30. Nobody's got the 30 yet. And so
Okay. So once number 30 rolls in, then whoever writes it after you hear us announce number 30, then whoever puts it in the chat first will also get a set.
and let's see, it looks like Lee Frazier is going to hit number 30. Lee, where are you from? Clydesville, Texas.
Wow. Everybody's down your neck of the woods right now.
Which is odd because hardly everybody ever wins down here. So anybody in the chat room who can come up with, and I will give y'all a hint, she put it in the box. The person who sponsored it all is in the box. Yeah, yes, for you people who can't see it, y'all didn't have a chance of knowing. But for anybody who can see us, she actually put the person's name who sponsors us in the scroll box. So yes. Yeah, so I don't know, man. This is all I know. Anyway, there's another set there when we all want to get it. So who you got coming on next week?
Next week, this is going to
I'm going
be
to
a
torture
lot
until
of.
Amelia comes back.
Are
Amelia
you?
paid me money for this, and
Are
she
you?
promised to send me food.
Oh my gosh. Next week, Wednesday night, we welcome the return of Jim Giard.
Tamara
He's got
got it.
he's got an amazing list of topics set aside for us. For starters, here's something for you guys to think about. For starters, how did our past guest and dear friend Richard Stanley, who was on just at the beginning of the month, how did his last interview ignite a huge revelation? So that's just for starters. He's got some crazy things. Thursday night, ironically, is the return of Hamilton White and Richard Stanley, who's going to be filling us in on a whole bunch of really great news as to what they've been up to down there in the zone in the south of France. And Hamilton's got stuff going on up in the UK. So, guys, it's going to be two great shows. There we go.
Tamara, get Michelle your information where you want it sent to,
Yep,
and
you got it.
and I'll get them sent. They'll put those depending on where you are. They might send from here. It
Yep.
just depends.
Okay.
And
Or
then
just
who that is
email
that
it to,
Wednesday?
email it
So,
to Joe at our car.
well, you can email me. Yeah, you can email me over there. Either way,
There you
whatever's
go.
easiest for you.
Yeah,
Why is this
absolutely.
coming up on the damn screen? Okay.
I know. We've
And
got
who
Hamilton.
Thursday? The aliens.
Thursday. No, it's ironically, like I said, it's going to be Richard Stanley, Hamilton White, and they're
Oh, I
going to
must
be.
have missed Wednesday. Then which who you got on
I
Wednesday?
told you, Jim Girard.
Oh,
Jim
okay.
Girard, you
I
just
just
are not
missed
listening to
it.
me, man. You're hijacking my show and you're not listening to me.
Well, I can do that. So that's just part of the
No,
deal.
Jim Giard, who's been on about 3 different times, I believe, and he one of the things he's going to be talking about, he's got like really wild things to talk about. This guy's really amazing. And he's got one of his topics are how did our past guest, Richard Stanley's last interview ignite a huge revelation? So you're gonna have to tune in for that answer. I'm kind of curious to see that too, but he's like really he's got really cool things going on. So as soon as
They
you're done, we know.
Well,
Okay.
I will be harassing her and hijacking her the whole time Amelia's
Are we
out because she'll be by
trying?
herself. She'll be by herself, so I'll have to jump in from time to time. Well, I love the guys on that. That's why I was asking who she has on next week. I love the guys that are on Thursday. I don't know the guy on Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
Jim's been on a few times. He's pretty wild. But yeah, Hamilton and Richard together are going to be pretty wicked. And they're also
yeah,
scheduled to come back on together, guys, I believe at the end of February as well with another cool project.
and I got a surprise, and this is the first time Michelle's hearing this too. So
I'm getting a raise, yes.
yes, yeah, you're getting a raise, but
Woo!
I want a raise
Merry
too. Like, I'm
Christmas.
looking for a raise myself. It's
Okay,
so
whatever.
we're gonna be starting on Roku. We're actually already uploading to Roku, but because we have a lot of loyal listeners on this network, and I'm gonna make this across the entire network. I'm gonna actually give away a 6-month subscription to the network. What I mean by that, I mean you're gonna get your own show, 1 hour for 6 months. Now it'll probably be in the early afternoon or somewhere along that because you can't get on at night without either paying or having one big ass audience like some other people have. Well, or unless you have a sponsor. But
So what you're going to have to do is email right here. I'm going to put it up here. Hold on. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, Mr. Montaldo. Contact at. I'll put this up and then you can continue. Just make sure this is right. Okay.
so anyway, I'm going to give away. So it's 6 months of free television because Roku is actually a paid service on our network. Meaning, if you're a host, you have to pay for the service unless you're like Michelle or one or two of the others. But still, we're going to give away a 6-month subscription to that, and so you'll go across our whole network. The network is huge. It spans all over the place. And I will personally produce your show for 6 months. Now, after 6 months, we will discuss what if there's any future or anything along those lines. I used to produce every show on the network just because I'm
You have
busy
to
now.
be there.
But now I've been busy. That's why I got you, so I don't have to always be here.
What the heck ever.
It's
And we but you do have to be approved. Like we have to watch because of certain content and stuff like that.
yeah.
So
So, but
please
Roku is a lot
present
more
us
lenient.
the winning nominee or the winning person of whoever comes forward and we approve.
So it's going to be best idea is going to win the show.
There we
So
go.
so
Yeah.
you can mail it to anybody you want. Michelle would be better because she's the one going to want to be. She's the one that's going to be able to approve these shows. Damn, I don't know why I can't speak English tonight. But she's going to be the one that approve these shows. But I will actually come produce with you because I like meeting all the new hosts. I have this one I got to go meet now, but it's just best idea. So write in to us if you've
Tell
got a
us what
good
you got.
idea for a show. Starting in January, we're going to put you up. We're going to pick you up, and you can go on your show. It'll be 1 day a week for 6 months.
For an hour, and
For
we have
1
to
hour,
because
and
a lot of new shows are coming on too. So
yeah,
time slots are already booking.
Yeah, so Michelle will tell you what time slots we have available, and then you can discuss it from there. Because I know some people work for a living and stuff like that. So this is something that most stations don't offer. And if I was to put a value on this is probably for a new person at a good drive time or afternoon time on television with us. It would probably cost you about $1,000 a month. So what we're doing here is we want best idea. If you do really good and your show shows a lot of potential, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, we're already, Dave and I are friends, so we've already discussed it. So stay tuned.
Yeah. So, and there is a whole host of new shows coming on network. There will be a flurry of new shows coming on network for the next probably 6 or 7 months. So there'll be a lot of stuff to listen to. There'll be a lot of accents to listen to. There'll be a lot of good entertainment. But because we have so many loyal listeners, I want to give something back that you just can't get anywhere else.
Right.
And remember, so this isn't just radio. This is TV and radio.
So tell us what you got. Tell us what you have in mind, and let us work with you. If you've thought about the fact that you'd really like to maybe do a show, do a podcast, and you just don't know where to go, we will work with you. We will make your show. We will help
Yes.
it grow, and we
Yeah.
will nurture you and help you.
And I will even guarantee you at least one appearance on one of my 2 shows on the network.
I didn't even get that. Ain't that funny?
She didn't need that. It's Michelle didn't need it. And Michelle's been on my shows before, but she didn't need it. She's
What? Speak English
she
to me, because I'm surely have not. We have a show together. That is all.
that's well, you see, that works just as well. But and that show does actually better than both of our shows we're talking about right now. That's just sad.
It's
It's
true. It is. It
but
is.
but I will do that just to help you get your audience going, just to give you a place. And I will introduce you to some of the other hosts on the network, and you can get going from there. We got a lot of great people. We got a lot of great guys and girls on the network. Okay, we got a lot of great. We got a great non-nouns on the network. Wait, let me get this out right. We got a lot of great non-nouns on the network. There we go. Spit it out. So anyway, it's an offer that we're making now, and we're going to let it run for a couple of weeks and see what we come up with. And, maybe we'll get some ideas. Maybe there's a lot of people scared to do their first radio show. But we are going to offer it out there that people who want to try. And look, we allow for a wide range of topics. It doesn't have to be paranormal. No. It doesn't have to be aliens. It can be a lot of range. It can be cooking food as far as we care. You have to remember, we're United Public Radio. So a lot of people catch us on the UFO Paranormal, but their home station is United Public Radio, which allows for politics, it allows for food, allows for religion. It's just, we like to keep, for the most part, we like to keep PG-17 guidelines. This is the best I can say.
Well, we do allow, so we need to behave ourselves.
Yes, and we do allow conspiracy, as long as it's not, how can I say this politely, stupid conspiracy. Okay, no, don't get me wrong. There's a lot.
Make sure your tin hat's not on too tight. Is what he's trying to say.
So I do allow for conspiracy. I like a lot of conspiracy stuff, and we have conspiracy hosts on the network.
Yes,
and we'll probably have another one soon. But the thing of it is we just want you to maintain yourself in like a work environment. Look good, be clean. Don't do certain stupid things, and you'll hear about that from Michelle. But it's not for the radio show. But it's,
and. We have one winner of all of this, but I want to put it out there. If there are other people with, really good ideas and you're looking for a network, we are looking to set up a fair size daytime roster. And we are now in the process. I've been interviewing people. New shows are coming on board. The winner of this show basically ends up really getting boosted, whereas it helps if you can come with a sponsor. It just allows you different perks, which we could talk about. But for the most part, we're open to suggestions, and we are putting it out there. So
and if you can talk,
gets those perks without cost.
And if you're good enough to talk, Michelle, and we do offer mentor roles every once in a while. Right now, we're both mentoring one of the hosts on the network, and she's doing quite well. Actually, I think she's in the 850,000 average range now. And she's a newbie, and that's so we stole her and we decided to help her out. If you come over to, and we're not talking about the winner is different. This is something different. If you're really good enough and you really feel like you can contribute and you can convince Miss Red there that you don't have to convince me, you have to convince her. Then I don't mind helping out mentoring people. It's just we want quality people. That's all. Really, that's what we're looking for these days. We have a lot of hosts. We just want quality hosts. We want hosts that you yourself would not mind listening to. And that's the best way I can say it. Anyway, now that I've hijacked an hour, Michelle,
at least a freaking hour. My show totally did not go down the road I expected it to go to.
You should know better than that.
Say. What the freaking hell?
You should have told me that's what you wanted to talk about.
What?
You should have told me. You know how I am. If you don't tell me, I go off on a rampage somewhere.
Oh, I know. I tried, man.
She pays me to come on here. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, sure. And I don't get paid at all. That's great. That's a great freaking arrangement.
I know. How does that work out, huh? No, I'm just here to sit in for Amelia a couple of times here and there, just so she's not alone sometimes. But when she's got guests on, I'll actually be well behaved. To be honest with you, it's just where you don't have guests, I get a little squirrely. As Wayne just
A
roll
little
down at the
squirrely. Have you
bottom.
guys ever watched The Gray Zone when I'm sort of like always making squirrel comments or like the fishing rod trying to reel him in?
That's her
Trying to
job.
do
That
that
I
too.
mean,
I do that stuff. Yes, I
she,
do.
and that's why the show is good because she keeps me from going completely crazy. It's we have a lot of good shows on the network, and we really want a lot more people on the network. I am just tongue tied as all hell tonight.
I don't know.
It's
I don't. You're not very tongue tied because like you've been going strong for 2 hours. You're doing all right, man.
She's abusive. She says she's abusive. I feel for Wayne. She probably just abuses this poor man
You are
all the time,
doing
man.
all right.
I feel for you. I'm sending Wayne some good whiskey this year. I just feel for the man. I
Oh,
sent him some good whiskey.
okay.
It's,
Well, I'm going to sign us off now
yes,
because
we
we're
gotta
like
go.
9 minutes after the hour. See,
But we
it's just
sitting
been a
good, like
blast.
2.8, I
So
think.
you already heard who we've got coming in next week. So please tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Is Church of Mavis. Check him out. And then, of course, at 10 p.m. Eastern is The Centralist with this guy right here. He's going to talk all kinds of stuff, but mainly politics. So
Yes, mainly politics.
that's it. So
Matter
big
of fact,
thank
mainly
you.
bitching tomorrow night.
Big thank you again to our sponsors, Folgers Coffee, Dr. Snick, Justin Snicker. If you guys would like to contact me or Amelia or, oh, hell, we would even take an email for Joe, do it at the outer realm contact at gmail.com or go to the Facebook page and just click on the email button. So if wherever you're watching the show, please, guys, subscribe, like us, follow us, whatever the case may be. We appreciate your support so much. And we do our very best to bring you, good entertainment. I think we're dang entertaining. Yeah,
Yeah, we are dang guys.
I know. So to
But
all
many
of
people
you,
think we are anyway.
Merry Christmas, Merry
Merry
Yule,
Christmas.
Happy Holidays, wherever the case may be. Enjoy, be safe. Big storms rolling through all over the place right now, and it's getting cold. So, everybody take care and stay safe over the Christmas holidays. And yes, don't forget to share. Just what she said.
That's right. Be nice, people.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.